This station is now the ultimate power in the universe.
We would be honored if you would join us.
Hello, everybody. How was your week?
Oh boy!
Oh boy!
It's been...
That good?
Yeah.
Hey, everybody! It's Docking Bay 94. I'm Sean Crosby,
This is Jeff Soledado.
I'm calling Kaylee Crosby.
and we hope you had a tremendous Life Day. We did.
Yeah, it was cool.
Less fun than last year, but it was not too bad. We have our Life Day scarves.
Yep.
We're very...
Is anybody else seeing Twitch?
I don't know. It's not working for me.
It's not working for you?
Not working for me either.
That could be a problem. I wonder why. Let me take a look. Because I don't have Twitch open.
So we could describe our scarves for the Krypton radio people, but I don't think they're going to be able to see them.
Yeah.
Well, and I don't know if it's I don't know if it's a thing from like Restream is not getting
now
us.
I see it.
Yay.
Stone Time Lord says it's working.
Hey, I'll take working. Working is good. And I see us over on Facebook, so yeah, everything should be good.
The thing.
Awesome.
Except I have a giant head.
Isn't that like a
Oh, there we go.
a villain, a super villain?
Giant head?
Giant
I
head.
think so. I feel like it is.
Yeah.
Big head.
Something
Oh.
head.
I have to go take this, so if you
Okay.
guys will excuse me.
Oh,
Okay.
it's Psyche. Psyche has giant head. Yeah,
Oh,
magic
okay.
head. And Colleen,
Like,
Colleen is trapped in work. Work has been crazy this week for her.
gotcha. How about Megamind?
Megamind. I remember Megamind.
I think he was supposed to be a villain at first, but you know.
Well, and who was the kid in the Tick who was like Charles the Brain or something?
Something. God, it's been forever since I watched The Tick.
There was a really cool thing that I watched this week, and I think you can still get it.
Oh, good.
Or I don't know, maybe I should share my code with you or something because we
Okay.
paid money to do it.
Oh.
It
supposed to be free. What the heck?
It was a donation thing to charity,
Oh,
and
okay.
so we donated like $20 to do it, and I enjoyed it far
Gotcha.
more than Colleen enjoyed it.
I'm not really into the Tick.
But
sadly.
they
Aw.
got 3 ticks together, and
Yeah.
from the cartoon series, the Patrick Warburton series, and the Amazon series. I put them all together,
Yeah.
which was like super cool. And I loved it. Alan Tudyk showed up. Casts from cast members
plays
from all
both.
3 eras.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was really cool.
He was Alan Tudyk was the boat.
Danger Boat. Yeah,
Yes.
and I haven't seen that yet though. I have to watch the Amazon one. It was like all new,
Oh,
but I know
that's so
Peter
good.
Serafinowicz and all that kind of thing, which is really great.
Well, yeah, because the thing that bugged me about it before I saw it was like, what's the deal with the costume? But apparently it was sort of a take on how the representation of costumes in superhero films has been lately,
Right.
and then it was basically turned into being. It changed. His suit changed. I'll just put it that way.
Well, Peter Serafinowicz liked his suit. He said he liked Patrick Warburton's shiny suit, and Patrick Warburton said he liked the more matte suit because shiny was just not cool.
Gotcha.
But anyway, it was a lot of fun, but it was long. It was like 3 hours or something, and they
okay.
read 3 episodes. They read a cartoon
okay.
episode, and then what was it? ABC did the original series, and then the Amazon, and so it was cool to hear them read the stuff. But because
I think it was Fox.
the Tick, yeah, it was Fox. You're right. The Tick is so manic that I'm not sure it really worked that well. It was just fun to see everybody, I think. I think
okay.
we've seen, like, the Princess Bride reading, I think, went a lot better.
Yeah, this had a lot of technical difficulties, like with people
bummer.
not being able to hear and
Okay.
just,
It was all zoomed in, right?
yeah, ish. They did something
Okay.
where,
That
Pretty
guy.
and
much.
what you might want to do, this is probably a pain, but I mean, listen to us on Krypton and have a separate window open with the sound turned off for
And
Twitch or Facebook.
Then it doesn't matter.
And
yeah.
then you can see the video if we show any pictures or if we do something wacky. But
and you know,
but
so
Krypton's probably a more stable.
So I gotta
speed.
say, I mean, our speeds are good here and things like that. But if
Yeah.
anybody else out there has another idea for restreaming, let us know. Bearing in mind, of course, that we're doing this for free. We don't.
Yeah.
Yeah, we can't afford to throw.
We
a
don't
bunch
make
of
any
money
money
at it.
off the show, so we,
Exactly.
you know, we're going with the free option.
Yeah.
But it really does seem to be that restream is thing. I mean, I guess we could focus on one or the other.
Oh, and Wildcard 9 points out that if you activate the pop-out chat, you don't lose the chat if
Right.
you restart the browser. And I'm talking about Twitch.
Oh, okay. And I have the restream chat going on where I can see everything, so I'm kind of monitoring that over there.
Yeah.
So, but suckage for that.
Yeah. It's a drag.
Well,
You know,
this is not an exact. And as much as we try, and we try to do everything on our end, just, you know, shy of throwing money at the problem, which we have already done. We have upped our connection to the internet to like 20 megabits per second upload, and we've done that kind of stuff. And we bought lots of equipment, and we've done things like that. We just I don't want to pay a monthly fee. I don't want to pay like $25 a month to broadcast.
Yeah.
So it's me being a cheapo.
Well, I mean, it's not necessarily cheapo. It's just not something that we can afford.
Mm-hmm.
So,
Yeah.
you know, we do what we can.
So there.
Yeah.
But sorry about that. Yeah, we're trying. We're
right.
trying. We're trying.
So let's get back to what we were talking about. We were talking about the tick.
We
Yeah.
were, and it was just kind of a cool, fun thing. And I don't remember what the money went to for charity, but you know,
So was Mickey Dolenz there? Did he actually come in?
no, and he sent his apologies. Mickey Dolenz was the first Arthur, and then he got
Wow.
replaced after the first season. He like his schedule didn't allow him to do it, or whatever happened. I don't think there was any animosity there. But Ben Edlin gave his regrets, and the second Arthur was there, the guy who took over for him. So, but which was Rob Paulson, I think, in the cartoon.
And my gosh, Rob Paulson was loud.
Yeah, his volume was like not cool. He was the me
Gotcha.
in this situation, because I'm usually the super loud one, and he was totally the Sean man.
What the hell?
Yeah, which was pretty funny. But anyway, so that was kind of a cool thing, and then we all tried to celebrate Life Day.
Yeah.
Yeah, I
This
don't know
week.
why I didn't think about that it was Life Day.
Well,
I
because
don't know
it was
if you saw what I wrote in the document for what I did.
no.
Exhaustion and existential dread.
Oh, right. Yeah. Well, I have to say that
Oh dear.
we were sort of relieved that Life Day was over, and so we tried to do some stuff for Life Day. And of course, last year we had a big giant event at Galaxy's Edge.
Yeah.
And we couldn't do that this year, which was
No.
heartbreaking. Everyone was really sad. And
Yeah.
but it was also one of those things where it's like our passes, we let our passes lapse. We canceled them. And then, like, what if Disneyland opens and then we can go back in and do it? And then, you know, Disneyland's like, we're not going to be open until next March. And so, you know, that whole part of it was really confusing. And then we've been trying to, like, engage people to do, like, sing-alongs and stuff on the internet and stuff. And like, I got like, Jeff submitted something, and we had a couple people who submitted things, but only just a couple. So I extended the date on it, going, okay, let's see if we can get more people. Maybe they just ran out of time, And then everybody got very hung up on the Lego holiday special that came out on Tuesday. So the reason that Life Day is November 17th is because that's the day the original Star Wars holiday special premiered on CBS, the one time it aired.
Yeah.
And so that's we decided was like the de facto day of Life Day, because that's when we first were introduced to Life Day.
Yeah. That's what we should have started the show with.
But
the CBS sound.
I totally could have done that. And I even have video of like spinning video that we made one year for one of our Lux shows. But the thing with Life Day is that it really like kind of continues through Christmas. It's just like a holiday thing, and it's not a big deal. We're wearing our little red scarves. You can be in your red hoodie, whatever works. And so between like Tuesday and Christmas, it's all fair game. Time moves differently in the galaxy. It's just whatever, it doesn't matter. But
Gotcha.
I was really sad that we couldn't get together, and actually, and maybe even a little disappointed that I don't think anybody had a celebration in Batu
Florida.
East in Florida.
Yeah.
Some people did post pictures of themselves in hoodies.
Yeah.
But and some people had asked me for lyrics, but I don't think they sang over there or did anything like that. So it is what it is. And I've been joking around. There's always the thing that they say at Passover that's a toast that's next year in Jerusalem. And that's been me, like next year on Batu. So, we'll get there.
Goodness.
We'll get there eventually. Although I have to say, in the news, and I'm sure we'll talk about this later, they've had the Star Wars themed hotel that's like getting closer and closer and closer. They're building more and more, and so there was a little bit of that going on where people were showing renderings of the rooms that's like the basic room that'll have like 2 parents and 2 kids can fit in this room. And could you imagine like going to Walt Disney World like on Life Day and like staying there and then doing Life Day there? That would be totally cool. I don't know that we'd ever be able to do that, because I think as long as Disneyland is open and we can do it, I think we're sort of duty bound to hold Life Day at Disneyland. So I don't know that they'd let us skip coasts.
Yeah, I know. Oh, we're supposed to be over here.
Right. You're on your own, kids. No worries. But we'll see.
Gotcha.
Hey, we got a review of the first episode of the Animaniacs from listener Lisa.
Oh yeah, because I heard terrible things from the Rolling Stone review.
Lisa said, "I am very pleased."
Okay, that's super cool.
Yeah.
I am in I am in the Falcon cockpit. What do you know?
Well, and
Time Lord.
I'll tell you what's really kind of a bummer about the Animaniacs is that they did not invite the original creative team back to work on it. And so I'm feeling a little trepidatious. And the article in Rolling Stone basically said, yeah, it's the Animaniacs. Yes, it's funny. No, it's not. It's not the same level of like clever and involvement and stuff like that. But, who knows? It'll probably take a while to ramp up and we'll see. I mean, I want to like it. But I'm also really bummed that they did not invite back like Tom Ruger and all the people who worked on the Animaniacs that made it so great, right? You would think that they tried. They like sent notes and said, "Hey, Warner Brothers, we're not doing anything." And they went, "Yeah, you're right. You're not doing anything. See ya." And it was like, so
That figures.
But fingers crossed. I'm glad that Lisa's giving it a good review.
Yeah.
So.
The other thing we did on Life Day was we played Star Wars.
Oh, we did. We did a game corner, and we taught the game of Star War, which is the game of war with cards, but using the Sobek deck, because Sobek is confusing and complicated, and we haven't learned it, and playing war is more fun. Except for when the game goes on like a little too long. We need to come up with a use for the dice for like sudden death. For the game. I think
it lasts a little bit too long.
So, or we can alter the rules, because we incorporated some of the Sobek stuff where there's red cards and green cards, and the green cards trump the red cards, and so you could have like a 10 green and a 10 red, and the 10 green takes it, instead of having a war. Where I think if we did it where every time there was a matchup, there was a war, regardless of the higher, lower colors, it would probably end the game sooner.
I just have to clarify something. Someone says that Gene has the actual game. We actually do too. We have 2 sets of Sobek decks. Sean and I each have one. And it's just that playing Sobek is like playing poker, and playing poker is already kind of hard.
Yeah.
Playing poker with a deck that you have to concentrate to figure out what card you're holding in your hand is too hard.
Yeah, it's just so I like doing it as war. It's just, and it's a faster flowing game, and really the whole deal is to be playing that game in like Galaxy's Edge at a table sphere stuff. It's nothing you want to really concentrate on the game, I find.
Yeah.
So it's because cast members come by and talk to you, and people come by and talk to you while you're playing the game. And if I were playing like the poker variant, I'd be like, don't bother me. But if you're playing war, you're just joking around and goofing off and still slapping cards down, and that's more fun.
Maybe people who are really good at poker would be able to make the switch, but you have to learn all new hands.
Yeah.
And honestly, for the first game that we played, we had to call the numbers out loud, because it's not like there's a number written on those cards. You actually have to memorize the pattern.
You have to count the dots and for the higher up ones, like the one with the pinchers is the 10, and the one with the spike is the 9, and it's like, whoa.
Yeah, it's kind of challenging.
Yeah, and my eyes are awful. So they're really terrible. And if you've watched me for any length of time, you've seen them move back and forth on the video. It's because they're broken. And card games and I just don't get along very well. And even really board games and I don't get along very well, which is sad, because I like them. I enjoy them. They stress me out.
So I see from our document that Jeff had an interesting weekend.
Yeah.
You want to tell us about it?
Let's see. We had a couple people that came over. Family that came over, having to do with what happened before the other weekend.
Mm-hmm.
And it was,
family stuff.
Yeah. And then on God, I don't remember what day it was. I think it was Sunday. I went with my friend Ron. I met him up at downtown Disney. We just kind of wandered around and stuff. But I hadn't seen him since before, before COVID.
Well,
that's for sure.
That makes sense.
It was a bit before COVID. So probably close to a year.
Wow.
But yeah. And it was great. I mean, because and today he just had his final round of radiation treatment. So
oh, cool.
So with any luck, he's all done.
Sweet.
Yeah. So that was pretty neat, pretty fun to do.
What did you do in downtown Disney?
We just kind of wandered around, because if you wanted to, we got there like around 8 or so.
8 a.m. or 8 p.m.?
PM.
Okay.
Because we had dinner beforehand and went there. And they were closing like at 9. So,
oh, wow. So you did a warp speed tour.
Yeah.
Quick, run to the Lego store.
we just basically went there and just sort of hung out and had some ice cream and just talked.
Oh, good.
Because like let's go to the Disney store. No, because there's a big old line that you could, if you're lucky, you'll get through the line in time to get into the store before 9:00. But didn't see that happening.
Yeah.
So we're like, oh well. Not if it was decorated for the holidays, I really couldn't tell. I mean,
It
I
seems
think
to be lightly so, like just a little
Yeah.
bit.
There are some lights and some trees,
Uh-huh.
but nothing
Well,
really.
I think they always
Christmas
kind of have
like.
lights in the trees.
Yeah, but that was downtown. We didn't go into the park because it wasn't open yet. That just
Yeah.
opened today.
Well, Colleen and
Yeah.
I were discussing this beforehand, where I feel like that even with DCA having opened like Buena Vista Street,
Yeah.
their Christmas element is so light, and I feel like they're
Yeah.
gonna like trot it out a little bit over time because they're probably short of people, and I think they just really wanted to get stuff open.
Yeah, it could be that. It could also just be them gauging the the population coming in to see like, well, should we bother?
Right.
But yeah.
Yeah,
But,
I looked at the video of the reopening of Buena Vista Street, and I was happy that it made me not want to go there
Yeah.
because I mean, like LA County just got new stay-at-home orders.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
Well, so did Orange County.
Yeah.
Oh, right,
Everything's
so did
purple.
Orange County. So, I mean, part of me is all, oh, I totally want to go there. And the other part of me is like, well, maybe not.
Yeah.
So seeing the video didn't make me feel sad that I'm missing it.
Yeah.
I do, later on in the show, I do want to talk about some of the holiday foods that they have, but nothing is making me
Yeah.
Well,
for
and that's-
anything that is currently open.
Yeah, that's good, I guess.
Kind of neat though. We might go and we might not. We're still discussing it around here if we're going to go anytime
Yeah.
soon. But
Well,
but
and I mean,
definitely,
it's within your range. That's like
Yeah.
us saying we're going to go to the beach. Other people might
Yeah.
be like, "Oh my God, you went to the beach? That's terrible." And we're
Yeah.
like, "The beach is really close to
It's
us,
like 2 miles
Exactly.
from
and
us. Yeah.
yeah.
and there's a huge amount of room between where people are. So
Yeah. If
Yeah.
we were
At our
ambitious,
beach.
we could walk to the beach.
we
Yeah.
have to be ambitious, though.
So
Yeah.
and it's like but I think the best time for that would be like a weekday
Yeah,
to do that. Definitely the weekend.
Well-
nope, no thanks, no weekend.
Yeah, well, and that thing. So, like Colleen might have a couple of vacation days coming up, and I could see us like going there first thing in the morning to go check it out and to avoid the crowds and that kind of thing that show up later in the day. But there isn't anything that is driving us there to like, oh my
Yeah.
gosh, we must go do X thing. Although I'd like to see the Star Wars pop-up store, which would be fun.
Yeah.
And I like the place, and you twist my arm if I get to eat at the Earl of Sandwich or something. It's
Yeah.
like
the
really
turkey
great.
sandwich.
It looked like from the pictures it looked like they had taken the fountain out and put plants there instead.
Kind of hard
Yeah.
to tell.
And well, Kit found a picture of the fountain apparently still there, which
Was
is
the picture taken today, though?
I don't know,
Yeah, interesting.
but because I'd hate it if they took that fountain out because I love the fountain and that's where everybody meets is by the fountain.
But I mean,
But it looked like
that doesn't mean even if they put plants if they put plants in where the fountain was before, that doesn't mean that its life as a fountain is over.
Right, but they took the central fountain tower out and they did a bunch of
Yeah.
things to accommodate the plants. So we'll have to see, but it looks like it's still there, and honestly, that was the thing that had me like all freaked out.
Yeah.
So, but if it's still there, then I'm good. And
Yeah,
my attachment is much more to Disneyland than it is to California Adventure. I like it. I like hanging out there, and there's still a lot of California Adventure that Colleen and I haven't explored yet.
I mean,
we've like
DCA
walked
has
through.
definitely improved. You know,
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
yeah,
And
compared to when it first opened.
And honestly, it's really funny. I was thinking about this today. I feel like it still being called California Adventure is limiting and hobbling to the park, because I think the park has really grown beyond it. And I like the updates that they've done. Like I enjoyed the boardwalk, but I love like the Pixar Pier revamp. And the things that they're doing to it, although Tower of Terror, still miss that. But the things that they're doing to update California Adventure are super exciting. And, you know, as long as they don't do things like take out Soarin',
Yeah, I know.
I'll be good. And there's a lot of stuff that Colleen and I, like we really need to see World of Color, which we haven't really seen. And there's like a bunch of stuff like that we just, you know, we've tried to see. We couldn't get you know, seats or admission or whatever. And so there's a lot of new over there for us still to do when they reopen and they let us do it. But our hearts are at Disneyland. I mean, that's where we grew up. My mom came out here to visit her sister in like 1970 or 71. And we went to Disneyland, and it was like a huge deal. And, you know, I've been hooked ever since. And fortunately, living out here, we were able to go like at least twice a year, you know, to go to Disneyland. And there was, you know, we were always going. And so when they open that up for Christmas, when the decorations go up and the tree is up and all of that kind of stuff, that will be harder to stay away for me.
Yeah. Well, like the and Disneyland, when they would have the garlands with the Mickey Mouse wreath that go across the street, literally over the street, you know.
Right, or the mouse ears on the lampposts, and I mean, there's all that stuff we've come to expect, and whatnot. Now, I have to say, I think this is a little weird. So Wednesday was the officially observed birthday of Mickey, because they released. No, was it Wednesday or was it Tuesday?
I don't remember.
I think it was Tuesday. The release date of Steamboat Willie, and and that's largely considered the birthday of Mickey Mouse.
Yeah,
and you know, we played a bunch of stuff on the show. We had some fun with it, and the you know, tomorrow is like a Friday. The weekend's coming. I found it really interesting that they opened the Buena Vista Street stuff today, like on a Thursday. Yeah. Kind of like in the middle, and I was really surprised they didn't open it for Mickey and Minnie's birthday.
Yeah. No, I don't really know what the reasoning is, to be honest. Maybe they wanted to set it exactly 1 week out from Thanksgiving. Who knows?
Yep.
So I just scrubbed through a video that somebody took in Buena Vista Street today.
Yeah.
And I believe, I could be wrong, but I believe that the planter that Sean was looking at is where they had the Christmas tree last year.
That's probably the case.
It's not like they didn't take the fountain out.
Okay.
But there's in this video, there is no fountain.
Well, and Kit posted a picture of people in front of the fountain.
Yeah.
And it's fine. And it just, you know, the way the discussion was going, it's like, look what they did to the fountain. Oh my God. But it's not really the fountain.
Yeah.
It was something else.
Gotcha.
And you know, people just like putting the fear into
Eric.
me, I guess.
Yeah.
So.
Eric says they picked today for testing before the weekend.
Before the weekend. Okay.
Oh yeah, that's a good idea because it's going to be crowded.
So I think, well, actually, if anybody that knows me that's listening and has me on Facebook or Instagram, they saw me posting little snippets from the holiday special, you know, the original 70s holiday special.
The 2-hour long acid trip holiday special.
Yeah. So, and because I was watching it, I started watching it, and then Aubrey came in. Oh, yeah, Sarita would like this. I'm like, I don't know.
Maybe.
Sarita came in to watch it. Yeah. And Sarita came in to watch it, and she liked it. It was, you know, she was, you know, got the same, you know, reactions that I've had over the years, but, you know, but she did enjoy it. The creepiest part of the entire thing for her was how Lumpy made Lumpy's noises. Sounded like some sort of, you know, angry badger or something. You know?
Lumpy, yeah. Well, Itchy was no picnic either.
No,
so Lumpy is Chewie's son. Itchy is Chewie's dad, just in case you've never seen it. And it...
Is it his dad or his
I thought
father-in-law?
Itchy was the grandpa.
He is. Isn't that Chewie's dad?
Oh, Chewie's dad. Okay, I thought you meant Lumpy's dad.
No.
Yeah.
And so...
Itchy's a creepy
And
old
then
guy.
Mala is his wife.
Yeah.
And it just... It's a variety show that's meant for children, which is not really what George had in mind when he okayed the thing. But George was busy with The Empire Strikes Back.
Yeah.
And so other people were in charge. And it kind of got away from them. And instead of being an adventure show, it became this 2-hour-long, you know, show with sketches and songs and things like that. And weird guest stars. Mm-hmm. You know, like B. Arthur as the cantina owner, and Art Carney as a sympathetic human on the Wookiee planet, and you know, it just got weird. But I don't know. I feel I have a very soft spot in my heart for this because it was the only Star Wars we got.
Exactly.
You know, for 2 years.
So yeah, I mean, that's why I loved it when it came out, because I mean, you know, a little 5-year-old, whatever that I was at the time that the first one came out, I'm like, oh wow, it's on TV now, and cool.
I was 11, and I knew it was not good, but you know, again, it was still Star Wars, and now as an adult, for me, there's a certain charm about it, and there's a level of camp about it that I really appreciate, and the terrible nature of it only kind of like adds to it because it is so indicative of its time period that, you know, it's it's just crazy.
Well, you know,
and then there's
at least they nailed the planet Kazook, so you know.
Kazook, right? Well, and there are some things that you cannot explain away, like Itchy and Diane Carroll and the just weird pseudo VR porn experience that she provides him.
Wow.
Yeah, it's like, just no.
Yeah, it was just disturbing.
Right, and those are the things that, like, when they're like, oh, it's a variety show for kids, I'm like, not right then, it's not.
No. And that was like, was that Journey or Jefferson Starship?
Jefferson Starship. That's okay. Yeah. Who had a you know, hologram band thing. There was a troupe of like Chinese acrobats or something.
Weird phallic microphone and
it's just there's a whole lot. And then the Imperials are complete asshats. And they come in and trash the house and break the toys and rip the head off the bantha. You know, and they're mean and nasty. And then all of our stars from the Star Wars movie, you know, time had passed since they shot the film. And so Mark Hamill ended up with Dorothy Hamill's haircut. and
too much makeup.
Way too much makeup. Carrie Fisher was still on the party circuit.
It was like Sandy Duncan as Luke Skywalker.
Right. Oh my gosh! It was, and Harrison Ford was phoning it in, you know, because it was oh crap! I guess I signed that contract. I guess I'm doing it. And But all of those things add up to just a lot of fun. And I have to tell you, it was really great last year to be at Disneyland when we expected maybe 30 people to show up, and we had a couple of hundred show up.
Yeah, that was nuts.
Yeah.
And they were,
I couldn't believe that.
but they were people who loved that, who loved the holiday special and wanted to celebrate that in some way. And that's cool. And it's nice to know that you're not alone, right?
That you're not the only lunatic, You're
Yeah. And there's a lot of bad stuff that we like because it's bad. It's the whole premise of MST3K. Is that it's bad stuff we like because it's bad.
Oh yeah.
And the Star Wars Holiday Special is exactly that. It is. We love it because it's awful.
Yeah, I know, but it's horrendous, but it's a lot of fun.
Yeah, well, and you got to share that with your daughter. That's pretty cool.
Yeah, and it's like you were saying about it's cheesy and everything, and you know what you're getting into, but I mean, you're old when you saw it, you were older, and you're like, well, this is kind of crummy. But I'm still watching it because of Star Wars. And when I was, for me, it was like, whoa, I get to see him again, and this is really cool. And years later, I'm like, oh my god, this is Hong Kong Phooey right here.
Right, it's the Hong Kong Phooey effect. But
as a kid, you're all wow.
Well, and then middle of that was like 10 minutes of Kenner commercials for all these cool Star Wars toys that were coming out.
Yeah, because that's all it really was.
Sure, it was a gigantic ad for Kenner to get the word out for Christmas that year.
Yeah.
But
I mean, where's the Harvey Corbin figure with the with the volcano head? Where's that?
Right, or the Gourmanda figure with 4 arms and I mean, gosh, that's and how long did it take us to get any Cantina aliens? I mean, seriously.
Geez.
But it was the commercials may have had more adventure than the entire special.
I know. If for the longest time, the entire thing was also on there as a riff tracks. You could actually see the entire riff tracks one.
Oh, okay.
And it was hysterical as well because they had all the
that.
commercials in it. That the one that I was watching, the person whoever put it up there, I think, edited out most of the commercials. So it just had sort of like the station breaks.
Yeah.
But they put for the riff tracks one, it had all the commercials, and it's so damn funny.
Well, the one on YouTube starts with an ad for like Wonder Woman and the Incredible Hulk or something.
Yes,
It's like
not going to be on tonight.
It just sets the tone for the entire thing.
Oh my God!
Right, the Incredible Hulk has been preempted by the following special presentation. Oh my gosh! That's really cool.
The funny thing is, like I know everyone's like, oh well, because they had the cartoon. That's our first time we get to see Boba Fett.
Right.
I'm like, well, yeah. And it's also, it's also the first time you get to see what Kashyyyk looks like, as background painting.
Right, Ralph McQuarrie paintings that were turned into their establishing shots. They're like, let's just zoom in on that painting.
Yeah,
which was cool.
Because when you finally see Kashyyyk in the prequels, it looks like that.
Yeah,
they just basically just used it and went. So I'm like, there you go.
Well, and an interesting thing about that cartoon with Boba Fett was it was done by a Canadian company called Nelvana, and their animation style isn't exactly my kind of style because everybody was like tall and thin, and it was weird.
Well, for that one, yeah,
I mean, for that one.
All the other stuff they did not quite.
And so those guys were instructed by George to give it kind of a Jean Giraud Mobius look from like the heavy metal magazines.
Yeah.
And to give it obviously like a less adult spin, but to just kind of give it that sort of adventure-y kind of detailed vibe. And so because he gave it that direction, that's why everybody came out looking weird. And what's funny is that the heavy metal movie hadn't even been started yet at the time that they did that animation, and Nelvana was asked to do the heavy metal movie, to which they then passed on
Yeah.
And instead, they went on to do things like Inspector Gadget and the Care Bears, and then they did Ewoks and the droids. But they got Ewoks and the droids because of that. But
they did Beetlejuice too.
The cartoon in the middle of that, even Boba Fett, was really just sort of a test bed for them. And I think that's the thing that not only do fans really like that, I think that's the thing George came out of that thing with. That's the only thing that came out the way I wanted it to come out.
Oh man. Yeah, it's it's understandable. I mean, but I don't know. It was like that when you're going, oh wow, and you're thinking that maybe they'll do something like that again, and they really didn't really do anything else until like the Ewok movies, No, that's pretty much it.
No, that's okay.
But I really liked the Lego special.
Yeah,
I thought it was good,
so
although
good.
the voices were kind of off.
The voices were a little off, although they did get people like James Arnold Taylor to come back and do Obi-Wan Kenobi. Tom Kane did Yoda, and he sounded a little off to me. Maybe it's just distance in time where he was a little off. But I thought that they handled it well. I thought that the gags were good.
Totally.
There's a lot of stuff that, although we pimped the story just a little bit because we had to freeze frame and read some Aurebesh.
Yeah.
Oh.
And so we
We're
read,
like, uh-oh.
We're like, oh, this is not going to end well.
Maybe we shouldn't have read that.
Which was funny. And now, everybody pretty much wants Poe's ugly Christmas sweater.
Yeah.
From the episode. But yeah, it was fun, and there were enough nods to the original holiday special to make it cool. I mean, they had Itchy and Lumpy and Mala and some other stuff, and it was.
Well, they were reduced to being little side characters.
But it doesn't matter. They were there, and that was all you needed. Don't dwell on it. Show them and move along.
Yeah.
And it's on Disney Plus, and it's still on Disney Plus. You didn't miss it.
Oh yeah. So you totally get to see it. It's it's like we said earlier. Life Day is from November 17th to Christmas. It's just you don't have to be bound by that.
But
day.
And there are parts of it that I was like, where there were so. They did such a really great job with with that thing. It was just the how do I say this without giving anything away?
I don't know.
X-wings.
X-wings
with the X-wings. Yeah. And the Falcon.
Right.
So, right. I mean, and it's like that particular shot, and I know you know what I'm talking about.
Yes.
It was they nailed it. It was like, oh my God, it was perfect.
Yeah.
And I was like,
honestly, it was kind of what I wanted the Family Guy Star Wars specials to be. Yeah. Where the Family Guy specials, Family Guy as a whole is hit or miss for me, but the Star Wars specials really needed to push it further. I thought. And be a little more on brand, and this was exactly it. It's here's a thing, it's not canon. They're having it, and they're completely committed to it. And it was really great. And in fact, so Colleen and I are doing advent calendars this year.
We bought them.
We bought them, and yours is what, tea?
It's a jam.
It's jam. Colleen got the jam advent calendar.
I have a jam plan.
Cool. And I have the Lego one. I got the Lego one last year, and I had a good time with it. Although I just saw stupid Playmobil came out with a Back to the Future one, and I'm like, oh,
nice.
Curses.
Oh, you should get the Back to the Future one and save it for next year.
I could do.
Or you have it this year and save the Star Wars one for next year.
Totally could do that. But anyway, it was. But I'm excited for the advent calendar now because of the Lego special, which was very cool. So it was
cool.
Good stuff. Yeah.
Yeah. That was the topper to the day there. After you would after purging yourself through watching the original holiday special. and then then you watch the new one.
Oh, Brent got the Back to the Future Playmobil one.
Oh, nice.
Cool. Yeah, it just looks fun.
Yeah.
There are so many advent calendars out now. There's like Hot Wheels. Lego's got like 5 of them. There's a Harry Potter one for Lego. There's Star Wars. There's like all sorts of ones.
Course.
You could go crazy. You could have an advent calendar for each room.
Nice.
Yeah. It's going to do a tree this year, I think.
Yeah, there's really no place to put it. We don't do a tree every year, but usually when we do it, we have this big chair in our living room, and there's a table behind the chair, a very small table, with a fountain on it, a small tabletop fountain. And I think it was last year, but it might have been the year before, we bought a hanging lamp to go in that corner with the intention that we would take it down to put up the Christmas tree.
Right, which I'm totally game to do.
But we looked at it and I'm like, you know what? I don't think the Christmas tree is enough worth it to do that. We might get like a little tiny one.
Yeah.
But I don't know, maybe it feels like every year I con Sean into putting lights on the tree and then I go, oh, it's so pretty with just the lights. We'll just leave that up.
Right.
And,
So my
then he
thought
gets
was
bummed.
let's get an artificial one that has lights embedded in it already.
Yeah.
But I think maybe a tiny one might.
Honestly,
suffice us.
we figured out that if we put it next to the television, between the television and the window,
Yes.
where Yoda is in our thing, we could have a 2-foot wide by 4-foot tall one. And honestly,
There you go.
I just want one that opens like an umbrella. You pull it out, you go poof, and it goes
You've
pop.
been watching too much Grinch.
Be great, right? I totally want that.
Yeah.
And it can be the one with the lights in it. And then
Gotcha.
if we don't want to put ornaments on it, we'll have to.
The last,
Look at a
I
plastic
don't know,
one.
maybe 5 or 10 years, I've been buying the fresh wreaths at Trader Joe's. And it just brings all of the pine smell into the house that I'm looking for. So
Yeah.
it's great. But I just have to be careful because with the pandemic, I could very easily miss the wreaths at Trader Joe's. And then what am I going to do? I'll have to
there's
buy 'em
also
somewhere
a
else.
You're gonna
there's
have
a
to
tree
hang a-
shortage
There's what?
because there's a tree shortage because the fires were because Oregon is basically where we get most of the Christmas trees from.
Oh.
Oh, and they had fires.
Yeah, and so they lost a lot, but so I don't know if that's going to affect the wreaths or not.
I don't know.
Yeah, definitely have less trees, but we're probably going to get a fake plastic aluminum one or whatever.
Yeah, that's what we were talking about doing. You know what we're going to have to do, Colleen? If you can't get a wreath, you're just going to have to hang a Kringle on the door.
Kringle.
You ever go to Trader Joe's and get a Kringle? It's the big round O-shaped dessert you have cut slices out of. It's called
Yeah,
a
I've seen
Kringle.
that, yeah.
Oh, it's really good. We had a pumpkin one for
Get some pannekuchen
October.
and yeah.
Hey, you guys want to talk about Star Wars? Since it's almost 8 o'clock.
Since it's almost 8 o'clock and we've
Yeah.
been totally talking about Star Wars this entire time.
I guess we should
Well,
talk
I
about
mean,
Star Wars.
history.
Yes.
Go for it.
Okay, November 17th, 1978. Is something we've already talked about. The holiday special was there.
Yay!
I'm not sure why I picked that since we were going to talk about it anyway, but hey.
No, but it was a good one
No, it was a good
because
one.
that's like
Totally.
the most accurate one.
Yeah, exactly.
Totally.
November 18th, same year, 1978.
The
Carrie
next
Fisher
day.
Carrie Fisher hosted Saturday Night Live.
Oh,
and
God,
she
that
actually
was
did a
great.
segment as Leia. So that was,
Right, beach blanket bingo Star
Yeah.
Wars with Bill Murray as like trying to be the hip cool thing and Leia in a
Yeah.
gold bikini foreshadowing with cinnamon buns. That was pretty funny.
And then our last bit was November 16th, 2008 was the second Star Wars that was Star Wars episode that was made up by Robot Chicken. That one aired.
See, and those are really good. Like the Family
Yeah.
Guy ones fell so flat for me, and Robot
Yeah.
Chicken makes me laugh my butt off
because-
every
yeah.
time.
Because they're all let's make Obi-Wan a pervy guy. I'm like, why isn't Obi-Wan why aren't you using Lois's dad as Obi-Wan? Because he looks more like Obi-Wan.
Right.
And that would make more sense. It'd be funnier.
Oh, instead of the pervy, creepy
Yeah.
dude?
Yeah, and make the pervy, creepy guy the Emperor. I mean,
Yeah,
that's-
see?
to me, that's where it should have gone.
That would have been perfect. And it still would have worked because all of the pervy jokes he did on Chris would have been done in Jedi instead of the first one.
Yeah.
The
So,
we were watching the Star Wars Gallery thing on Disney Plus, and it was interesting to see that they had contracted the Stupid Buddy guys who do Robot Chicken to do some animation of the blurgs for like macro binocular footage. They made little blurg puppets and they animated them as stop motion Robot Chicken style. And they're like, let's give it a try. Let's see if it works. And then they're like, oh my God, this is so good. So the Robot Chicken guys got to contribute to The Mandalorian.
that's awesome.
Yeah, which is really great.
You know,
That's kind of funny.
it was neat to see the blurgs again and other animals. So that's great.
Well, and they worked so well, too. As you needed a pack animal, and there's so many others they could have gone for. But the blurgs are great. They're just so weird.
Yeah.
They're like weird little meatballs with legs.
All right, I'm looking them
Exactly.
up because
Oh,
I
the
want to
blurg?
see.
They're the balls with the
blurg?
tail and the two legs that
Yeah, it's
Quill
like
and Mando and were running around
Oh yeah,
on.
okay, that's what I thought you were
Yeah.
talking about, but I just
like
needed
a-
to make sure.
It's like a fat bullfrog fish thing. that
Yeah.
runs around.
I think of it more like a lizard with two legs. It's like a foreshortened lizard with two legs,
I guess so.
That's
but
funny.
a giant one that you can ride on.
Brent was saying Stupid Monkey. There's a different Stupid Monkey was the production that they did Robot Chicken under. Stupid Buddy is their actual company.
Okay.
And there's like a difference there, just to clarify, so people know. Because I have people who are like, no, it's Stupid Monkey. It's like, actually, it's Stupid Buddy. And it's confusing as heck.
Yeah. I would think. Good grief.
I blame Seth Green.
Yeah, what the heck?
It's his fault.
Stupid Seth Green.
Seth Green. If I remember correctly, it was Seth Green that almost burned down the main house at Skywalker Ranch.
How did he do that?
They were hanging out and having a fire in the fireplace. I think something got out of hand and somebody knocked something over and something caught fire. And
So it wasn't. It didn't
See,
have to be
can't
his
trust these.
fault. It's just that he was the famous person that was there.
right, it was probably his instigated by him, not on purpose, but
I see.
yeah, it was.
For shame.
It was funny.
For shame.
Anthony Daniels had thoughts
Yes.
on the Lego Holiday Special.
Well, he was one of 3 original people who were in it.
Yeah.
It was Kelly Marie Tran, and it was Anthony Daniels, and it was Billy D. Williams, and I don't think anybody else came out to do it of the original voices, right?
That's as far as I know.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I think so. Yeah. Billy. I think it was just Billy D. and Anthony Daniels.
Billy D.
I do not know.
Well, and what did Tony Daniels say about?
He said, I read it like
Oh, I
5
think I
days
have it. He
ago,
says
so-
it was horror. It was, are you crazy? People are going to sue you for bringing up this title again because they've only just forgotten the first one 40-something years ago. I was genuinely surprised that they would risk awakening those dreadful memories.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's pretty funny. He says,
as-
and I'm sorry, I was just remembering the original. It was seriously bad, with all those Wookiees kind of grunting at each other. Tony.
Yeah. So from the original films, it looks like the only two that were voices were Anthony Daniels and Billy D. Williams. I don't. the
Right,
rest of
and
these
then
folks
Kelly
are-
Marie Tran came back
Yeah.
and did Rose.
Yeah, it
So-
should be on here somewhere.
Well,
This isn't
and
showing her name. Oh, there it is. There's Kelly Marie Tran. I couldn't find it. But yeah, and then
and
a few
what's-
people from like Clone Wars and such too.
what's really funny is that Tony Daniels also wants to be in The Mandalorian.
Yeah.
Well,
So,
I mean, who doesn't want to be on The Mandalorian?
well, I mean, we all do. He's
like
got a
me.
better chance than we do.
he has a way
Oh, yeah.
better chance than we do.
Except he's such.
I tried.
They'd either have to write a part for him that was so far away from 3PO that you
Oh,
went
right.
notice, or he
Yeah.
would have to be 3PO, which
Yeah.
would be a little weird to work into the.
I think they should make him like a townsperson.
Totally. They'd
Yeah,
make him
so no costume. I mean, like, you know, a townsperson, but no mask.
remember what was it, Silverado, where John Cleese was the sheriff of some
Yeah.
weird little town.
Right.
Yeah.
They should do that to Tony Daniels. He should be the weird British sheriff of a little town.
Yeah. Slightly mean.
I would totally
And-
go for that.
Yeah.
Oh, he can be a snot. I think he'd pull it off.
Oh man.
I think it'd be great.
It's my jurisdiction.
Dun dun. Before we move along, it's the top of the hour. I will remind you that you were listening to Krypton Radio. This is Docking Bay 94. I am Sean Obi-Sean Crosby.
This is Jeff Soledado.
I'm calling Kaylee Crosby.
And if you're trying to watch us on Twitch or Facebook or YouTube or something like that, you have our hearty apologies. I think something's up with Restream, and it's not sending video very well to those places.
Yeah.
So apologies. It's not for lack of trying, but
Yeah.
circumstances beyond our control is how they used to explain it when I was a kid.
Have him be the guy who worked for the droid company where 3PO got his voice from.
Didn't we see that?
That'd be funny.
We saw that as a thing for the Terminator, where they like showed the guy who gave the Terminator his
Oh.
I don't
voice
know.
or something.
Or his look. It was he's supposed to be a sergeant or something. And it
Oh.
was Arnold. And they dubbed some Southern guy.
Right, they did like a Southern guy voice. That's what it was. Yeah.
So somebody was trolling Rian Johnson, like, and it sounds like they started on Star Wars, but then we're trolling him about something not even Star
Well-
Wars based.
Just
And
you have to quantify that. People are always trolling Rian Johnson. It never stops.
well, Frank Oz spoke up on Twitter about it, and he said, "It's sad to me that you've harbored this internal darkness for so long about a movie. Ryan is a great director, writer, and human being. Please try to understand that writers and directors are not there to fulfill the audience's expectations. Good work breaks expectations."
Yep.
And I love that Frank came out and said it, because it's the kind of argument I happen to really like The Last Jedi. And of the 3 movies of the last trilogy, it's my favorite one. And it's my favorite because they threw things at me that I did not see coming. Episode 7, I saw in my head. Episode 9, I saw in my head. There were no real big surprises in these movies. And The Last Jedi
Yeah.
did a bunch of things that a lot of people didn't like, but were really left field stuff. And it's not like they were out of character. They were just not what fans expected to see.
So I looked up what the tweet was that Frank Oz was replying to.
Yes.
Oh dear.
And this
It's
guy
not that
says,
pleasant.
"I'm still not over." It's totally stupid. "I'm still not
Yeah.
over your awful Star Wars entry that bleeped all over everything. I hope one day someone breaks something you cherish, Ryan. And I hope one day you realize what you did and you apologize every day for the rest of your life. I hope you feel that amount of pain." This is so out of proportion
Yeah.
to
It's only a movie.
even if the movie was
Oh,
like the
Jesus.
worst, even if it was the holiday special.
Right.
So,
So
get a
not
life.
worth that.
No.
It's only a movie. And look,
Right.
and I say that. I say that as one of the biggest Star Wars fans on the planet. The entire Star Wars saga like shaped my and
Yeah.
I don't think he screwed up. I think he
It's the best. It's the best one of the 3.
But even
think
if
so.
you didn't like it, it's not worth that.
No.
It's not worth
Yeah.
someone thinking that you should be in pain every day for your life.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I know.
My gosh. Can I just say that Frank Oz is adorable?
Yeah.
And his little description of who he is on Twitter is just it's sweet. It says Frank Oz, director of a dozen feature films, theater director, Yoda performer, years ago was with the Muppets.
Nice. That's a little different than the one he had before. He kind of like fine tuned it. I think it used to be super simple, and isn't
This is
his
just adorable.
isn't his feed called the Frank Oz Jam?
It is.
Yeah, which is great.
Yes.
And I'm not a big Twitter person. I don't hang out on Twitter a lot, but I absolutely love that people are accessible through that. I have had conversations with Frank Oz that I would never have had the opportunity to have because of Twitter, because he's like right there and you engage in a conversation and it's amazing. And that's like the good thing Twitter has done. And then the bad thing is it has given voice to people like this guy who's like super angry, cranky, you destroyed my life kind of a thing. And I'm like, man,
It's ridiculous.
well, and I argue this all the time, where people say that the last trilogy should just be destroyed, and usually I find that it's people who are upset because the norm has been tilted, and it's especially people who are like, oh, the new trilogy's all like woke and stuff, and but
I don't know about that.
look, as much as I think The Force Awakens was super hardcore fan service to go, hey, look, we can make a movie just like the original trilogy, and you can pretty much look at all the ingredients in Episode 7 and go, these are the things that came out of the original trilogy. I love that for the first time, there's a lot of young girls out there who are really connecting with Star Wars because they've got Rey. Adult women who are connecting with Star Wars because they've got Rey. I have friends who, and look, it's not like there wasn't Princess Leia, but Princess Leia needed rescuing. It's not the black friends that I've got. It's not like there wasn't Lando, but Lando was a shady guy, and but Finn is more of a hero, and there's also a generational gap where these latest 3 movies are made for kids now, whereas the original trilogy were made for us as kids. And I love these guys who just do not get it. They just don't understand because they feel so entitled that these Star Wars movies are made for them and nobody else. And, people just got to lighten up because Star Wars is a galaxy. And it's not a narrow focus. Everybody gets to enjoy Star Wars. Everybody gets to do it. And I'd feel terrible if I was one of those guys who was like, no, Star Wars was made for me when I was 10 and it's still mine.
I'm like,
That'd be awful.
I know.
Yeah, so
I've gone down the rabbit hole of reading Frank Oz's Twitter feed.
have you?
now.
God, I
the,
love him so much.
So the other statement that he says in the article
Yeah.
was also regarded that, but it was earlier before this guy's Twitter thing, and it was like, he says, "I love The Last Jedi. All the people who don't like this Jedi thing is just horse crap. It's about expectations. The movie didn't fill their expectations. We're not here to fulfill people's expectations," which is,
Yeah, and he's not wrong. He's not wrong. And the thing is, and Mark Hamill is always espousing the same kind of thing. A lot of the people involved in Star Wars, it's the equivalent of the William Shatner get a life moment. And it's like, look, enjoy these things. Don't ruin them for other people, and stop feeling entitled about them.
Yeah, exactly.
But the original responder, I would hate to be that guy.
Yeah.
To be that angry over something like that, because
I know.
Look, it's not even Shakespeare. It's just Star Wars.
But there's been so much of that from other different people that, but this one got light because it was responded to by Frank, but like how much vitriol and nastiness came out after that movie from a lot of people, and I just don't get it.
Yeah.
Because Force Awakens, I liked Force Awakens. It had a lot of aspects, and it gave me it had a lot of promise to what the story is going to go to.
And it proved that Disney could make a Star Wars movie up to the level we expected them to do.
Yeah, and then Last Jedi came out, and I'm like, okay, wow, look what they just did with this. Oh my God, this okay, so this next movie is going to be amazing. Yeah.
Well, to be fair, in the original trilogy, the middle one was the strongest of the three.
True.
From a blow your mind standpoint, I still like Episode 4, the first Star Wars, as my very favorite. But The Empire Strikes Back was amazing, and I think in the same case, The Last Jedi did the same thing, where it's like, let's blow the doors off your expectations. And but I was much like Return of the Jedi, going, "Oh, look, another Death Star." That's how I felt about Episode 9, where it's like, "Oh, look, we're retreading this same ground again." Isn't that nice? But that's what the sequel trilogy was. It was really just kind of remakes in a sense. Yeah, it was nostalgia and fan service.
Yeah. But it was all throwback, but it was like The Force Awakens, you're all, wow, that's an awful lot of stuff from New Hope.
That's okay.
Last Jedi, I'm like, the trench battle. Okay. But
right. Well, and we got stuff like Rogue One. And I liked the Solo movie. I thought that was fun. I could do another couple of those. And we're getting things like The Mandalorian. And the Mandalorian has, in much like what George Lucas did in grabbing onto heroic tales and fairy tales for Episode 4 and making it this huge cultural phenomenon by tapping into things we already know, The Mandalorian is all of these spaghetti westerns we grew up with, and that's brilliant because we know that world on a gut level. And I think that's one of the things that really makes The Mandalorian amazing. So, but when they do things like break our expectation of who the child is and things like that, the fans lose their crap.
I know. Oh my God! I'm like, can you do that? I'm like, really? Come on. Yeah, I don't want to get that either. But funny thing was that the sequel trilogy, which I'm still calling the placeholder trilogy, if you watch the Lego holiday special, even though it's not canon, it continues the story after the Rise of Skywalker. It basically continues that story,
right?
And you'll just have to see it to see what I mean. But it's it basically went where I expect them to go with the next set of them that people think they're not going to make. So
whatever. I'm just rolling with it, man. Give me more Star Wars.
Yep.
It's just make them fun. I'm good.
And, as for the Mandalorian, I keep going and using that Reface app and keep posting the Cobb Vance thing. And
I saw that. It's really creepy.
Everyone's hopes up. Oh, two in them up.
That's pretty funny.
Are we ready to move on?
Sure.
Okay. Somebody's selling a Docking Bay 94 number sign.
Yeah. This is Regal Robot, who is Tom Spina's company. Tom Spina was a big fan who's been doing. He started by doing restorations of original Star Wars props, and so somebody would send him like a latex mask, and he'd fix it all up. And then he got a license from Lucasfilm to do a whole bunch of art pieces. And so this sign, which I think is like a 12 by 12 plaster plaque, is the Docking Bay 94 number as it appeared in the movie, which is kind of fun.
Yeah.
And we
So,
could get one, but then
pretty
we'd have
cool.
to fight over it. But yeah, they've been doing some really interesting stuff with Star Wars because they've been doing replicas of maquettes, and so taking some of the original early sculptures of things like Jabba the Hutt and things and recreating them, and you can buy them, which is kind of funky.
Cool.
I've never felt a need for that, but and they also did the thing that I've always joked about, which was turning Han and Carbonite into a coffee table. They sell it. So if you have $7,500, you can get a
Wow.
Han Solo Carbonite coffee table.
That's
That's a lot, right?
a lot.
The Emperor's Throne is available as a swivel desk chair. If you want it, that's $1,300.
Only? Oh, okay.
Yep. And actually, there's a full-on desk that you can get for $10,000.
Nice.
It's the Carbonite desk.
Oh, of course. Yeah.
Yeah. So lots of stuff. They've turned it into a cottage industry.
Nice.
Nice guys, expensive
Cool.
products.
Right.
Yeah.
Wow. Ookity dookity.
We were talking about the Mandalorian. You can get downloadable content of Star Wars for Minecraft.
Yeah.
From the Mandalorian. Although, what's really funny is that it's not just the Mandalorian. It looks like there's a whole bunch of other Star Wars scenes you can do, like Bespin and the Gantry and stuff like that. And of course,
That's
everything has that very blocky Minecrafty kind of look to it.
Yeah.
But they've got the Vader Luke fight and stuff like that. Although what I'm looking at over here, which is this trailer, it's Bespin, but Luke is still wearing his Tatooine clothes. I mean, come on, man, get it right. Anyway,
So does anybody know the details on why Disney is attempting to withhold royalty payments from Alan Dean Foster?
you
No, I
know,
didn't-
it's
I didn't read it.
it's really super weird to me that's the case. So Alan Dean Foster wrote Splinter of the Mind's Eye, which was supposed to be a low-budget sequel to Star Wars. If it didn't go gangbusters and make money, they were going to do a really low-level sequel that became Splinter of the Mind's Eye.
Yeah.
And of course it did well, and we got The Empire Strikes Back, and then the book was released just as its own thing. And Alan Dean Foster was the ghostwriter on behalf of Lucas for the original Star Wars book, which came out 6 months before the movie did. And so, I mean, dude's paid his dues,
Yeah.
and I don't know why they're really trying to withhold the royalties. And so this has been going on since last year. And he says he's written novels and was not being paid the royalties that were specified in his contract.
Yeah.
And it says his
Wow.
lawyer, the Science Fiction Writers Association president, Mary Robinette Cowell, says,
Yeah.
as part of our negotiating toolbox, we guarantee anonymity for both the writer and the publisher if the grievance is resolved. Due to the extenuating circumstances of the particular case, Cowell revealed that the party causing issues for Foster was none other than Disney. And, but I'm not, the article's sort of vague. And it's like when they purchased Lucasfilm, they just stopped paying him.
Yeah.
He says,
because they ignored the contracts.
yeah, it says, you acquired the rights to some books I wrote. Star Wars, the novelization of the very first film, Splinter of the Mind's Eye, the first sequel novel. You owe me royalties on those books. You stopped paying them. And so I don't know if it's like an intentional thing or they just got lost in the shuffle. But you would think that the minute it was
Yeah.
brought to their attention, they'd go, "Oh yeah, we owe you money," because they're still printing these books. It's like Foster says, they still earn money for you.
Yeah. Yeah.
Wow.
So I hope he gets his money. He certainly deserves it. And like the holiday special, these were the things that kept Star Wars alive in the early days, were these books. So, and he wrote other stuff too. He wrote the Alien novelization, and he's got a series of things. And, yeah.
Star Wars Lego put out a Mandalorian Lego short, and it's very cute and good for the holidays.
Yes.
So check it out. It is called Snowflake Snack. And it stars Baby Yoda.
So we've discovered that there's pretty much nothing Baby Yoda can't eat.
Yes.
Without detriment, apparently. and somebody did a really great cartoon where he busts into a very familiar looking egg, and a face hugger jumps out and grabs his face, and he just eats it.
Right. I think the only critique I have of this snowflake thing is that Baby Yoda doesn't wobble enough when he walks. He sort of glides, which is what they do. It's like how they move the Lego characters.
Yeah.
But Baby Yoda really needs to be more wobbly.
He does.
Yeah.
He does. There's a remote control
He needs a toddler wobble
version of Baby Yoda that has wheels on the bottom. And so he can you drive him around, or he can follow you around. But he's got a joystick that you can control him. And the wheels are offset on cams like a clown car, so that when he rolls, he bobs back and forth, and he looks like he's walking. And they did it right. They did it right. It was super.
When I was a kid,
cute.
I had this a whole group of dolls, and they came with a car, and the car had it was a plastic car, and it had two wheels, like two axles with two wheels on it each. And what they did, where the axle met the wheel, so that the car wobbled when you drove it.
And that's exactly what this Yoda did. And so he bobs back and forth like he's walking. And of course, since you can't see under his little skirt, it's very effective.
Yes. On to theme parks.
Dun, dun.
Walt Disney World took its capacity up from, I believe, 25% to 35%.
Just in time for other things to be closing down.
Yeah.
Except the fact they weren't really at 25%. So I don't
they were higher than that.
They're way more than that.
Yeah.
Wow.
This is just their official word, I guess.
Right. I feel like their numbers are a little more arbitrary than that, because people have been reporting that the crowds seem higher than 25%. What did we determine 25% was? 20,000 people?
Of Walt Disney World?
Yeah.
Of the Magic Kingdom?
Yeah, because we thought it was like a attendance of 80,000 people.
Florida.
80, 85.
Capacity.
90,000.
90,000.
90,000. Okay. So it was like 25,000 people.
Yeah.
And
but substantially more than that.
Yeah, I don't know. And
but the thing is that how many, like, are people comparing it to when it was at maximum capacity, to like when they had to close because there were too many people?
No, they're comparing it to like say Rose, who did go, like it was busier than when we went.
Yeah.
So I mean,
which was still busy as heck, but it was busier than that.
Right. So that just means that they might have been at the correct capacity, like 30%, I guess, would be 30,000. But on a given day when you went previously, it could have been at low capacity or at average capacity.
Well, so
it seems more full because it actually is about as full.
So last weekend, Florida had 10,000 new cases in a single day, which is the highest number that they've seen since their summer surge. And a White House report says they're in the red zone for cases, which means they're just going to get hit badly.
Yeah.
And the governor says, Governor DeSantis of Florida says, we're not shutting anything down.
Oh, goody.
So, you can die as long as you're spending money.
Yeah.
On a cheerier note, someone published a first look inside the Star Wars Hotel in Florida. This was on the blog Mickey, which is not an official blog of the park that I can tell.
Right. There's actually a lot of places that have been posting the images, which are pretty cool.
Generated.
It's I think they're still renderings, though. I still don't
Yes.
think that they are real. They're very realistic.
Well, it says here is a look at the finished room, followed by the concept art that Disney previously released.
Oh.
So there's a photo of
Oh, I see.
the
yeah.
room,
Oh,
and then just below
mocked,
it,
They mocked one up. Okay, so they built a room
yeah.
to
Yeah.
show. So yeah,
Okay, that makes sense because the pillow is squished.
It's pretty good. It's not quite as elaborate as their original designs, which is a little sad because they
Yeah,
had
but
some
that's
really
pretty
neat stuff.
Standard.
Yeah, and of course Gregor's like, I'm not going to fit on that bed.
Eric tells us that the pictures came from the Disney stockholders meeting
Yeah.
and that those are real rooms.
Okay.
Well, Gregor wouldn't fit in the bunk bed, but there's another bed in the middle of the room.
Well, and there's
would
also
fit.
another size room. This is the basic room, and then there's a captain size room that has a much it has a wider bed that's shorter.
I
that
love these little cubby
we
holes.
could turn
cool.
Gregor perpendicular to the bed and he would work.
Although I think these cubby holes
What the heck's the
might be for
door?
kids.
They're for
Like,
kids, yeah.
I don't think an adult could fit in
I
there.
don't know. It depends. You and I might.
Not
depending.
together.
Well, not together, of course
Yeah.
not. But maybe. But
Where the hell's the door?
the door is
It's
at
at
the
the end of the
far
hallway.
end of the hallway.
That's in the first picture. That's the door
No,
with the
not in the-
screen on it.
If
No,
no.
That's the you're looking.
You're looking from the door to the room.
Yeah, you're sitting on the
Scroll
bunk and
down.
looking the same direction as if you were walking in the door.
Oh, there
if
we
you
go.
scroll down,
Okay, there we go. Yeah.
yeah.
Because the first picture is from the bunk, but the other one. Okay,
Right.
so there's the hallway. Okay. I was like, what the heck?
Yeah, I really like the bunk.
It was like, how do they get in there?
Yeah, no. There's a regular door, and so the idea of the hotel is that you are on a spacecraft.
Lisa says she'll make Gregor fit.
I know, right? It's fold them in half, man. Shove them in that thing.
Just like a cat, Come on.
I don't think the Empire had Wookiees in mind when they designed her, Chewie.
Right.
So the idea is that once you go through reception, you are on a starship, and there's a 2-day and night experience that you get, which includes an away mission to Galaxy's Edge. They take you in a shuttle that's a themed shuttle that you don't see the outside world. You see screens, and the screens change as you get to Batuu, and then you offload from the shuttle, and you're in Black Spire Outpost. And then you get back on the shuttle, and it takes you back to the ship. And it's this completely
Nice.
encapsulated experience. And so you decide what faction you're part of. I think they give you some costume items and peripheral stuff to get you in the world in sort of a LARP kind of a way. And because you're on a spaceship, these are cruise ship size rooms. So what we're looking at for these pictures, you have a door and a hallway. So you walk in the door, the bathroom's on the right, the fresher is on the right. And then you walk into the room and you have a bed and a couple of cubbies and there's a closet. And it's about the size of a room that you would have on a cruise ship. It's pretty
Yeah.
small.
Yeah.
So
That's funny.
I think that I think it'll be a lot of fun, and I assume that they might have rooms that also don't have the cubbies in them.
I love the cubbies, though. I'd like a room that just has the cubbies.
Just has the cubbies,
As long as they're big enough.
right. That would be. I would love to see them to be big enough for us. We're 5'6", and I feel like we could probably fit in there.
I am not
Jeff-
5'6".
Jeff, you're not?
I'm 5'5".
5'5". Okay,
Yes.
we're 5'5". But they have this portal that you drive up to, and that's like the last time you see your car for a few days, and they drive it away. I so want to pull up there in my car, in the Star Wars car, and offload. It would just be so cool. But anyway, the ship is called the Halcyon, and it's not going to be cheap. It's going to be about like a $3,000 experience for 2 days for a room. But that room's like, pack 4 people
crazy.
into it. And yeah, it's not going to be cheap. But it's like taking a cruise. You got to kind of look at it as that. But yeah, my gosh, the concept art is pretty nifty. And I do love this book, this mock-up that they did. If you're looking at the same article that we are on Blog Mickey, go all the way down to the bottom of the page, and they have the larger size room, which is the captain size.
Yeah.
But it's got all the fancy stuff.
It does. It's got much bigger cubbies,
Yeah.
and then it has a larger bed. And I'm sure we could make Gregor fit into one of these.
Oh dear.
They
Yeah,
put
be
out a
difficult.
video update for new attractions and entertainment for all Disney parks. I started to watch it, but it didn't interest me, so I stopped watching it.
That good, huh?
It was interesting. I mean, it was neat to see the Avengers jet, whatever, being
The Quinjet?
loaded on top of the building and stuff. So that was kind of cool.
Maybe
Yeah.
I'll go back and watch it for that.
Well, and they have a lot of stuff on this hotel, and they're showing pretty much all the neat stuff that they're doing everywhere. So there's a Zootopia themed land in Shanghai Disneyland, Runaway Railway, which is going into Disneyland in Toontown. They've got like updates on all of this kind of stuff. And then Avengers Campus, which looks really super cool.
Yeah.
And interestingly, Avengers Campus has scored Spider-Man, which was something I was kind of wondering about because of licensing issues in Sony and that's Spider-Man integrated into it. And yeah, the Quinjet looks so cool. Looks really neat. So we'll see. But it's always cool to get an update from Imagineering. They always have really great stuff going on. You kind of had to skip ahead, I think, to get to the cool stuff. They're like, if we get the boring stuff out of the way right away, people will stay.
Oh, and yet they lost
yeah.
me so quickly.
Yeah.
The Disneyland Resort might not reopen till March. I think that you could actually rephrase this headline to say that the Disneyland Resort probably will not open until the end of March, or maybe even say that that would be the very
Spring.
earliest, and it probably will not reopen for even longer than that.
Right. Our local CBS affiliate here in Los Angeles said that Disney executives have made the decision to keep Disneyland and California Adventure closed through, and this is a quote from them, at least the end of the first fiscal quarter.
Oh boy.
And so that was announced by Christine McCarthy, who is Disney's senior executive vice president, and she's the CFO. And it was in their earnings call that they did.
Gotcha.
And so interestingly, if that is the date, if that's what they do, Disneyland will have been closed a year.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They noted in this article, too, that Disneyland Paris is closed again for the pandemic.
Yeah, well, and we knew that was coming.
Yeah, it was open for, 4 months?
I'm just super afraid that Florida, we know so many people in Florida, I'm afraid they're going to get hit so hard with a giant spike because they're not observing anything, it seems.
Yeah.
And like I'm worried about people at like the Cloak and Blaster getting sick and people who are annual pass holder friends and things like that. So
Yep.
it's just
The next one, Sean and I were trying to figure out why this is happening, but the Disneyland Resort apparently for the last like 30 years has been selling handmade candy canes. And
Big, giant, weapony.
due to the
Yeah,
pandemic,
so awesome.
they are not selling them this year. And we were trying to figure out what about the pandemic makes it that they can't sell handmade candy canes, because maybe they can't have people making food on site or something. Or they don't want people to eat them out of hand.
Whatever the health and safety guidelines are, they feel they can't meet them.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And that's the thing that's kind of weird, because like if we go down the street to Del Taco and we get a hamburger or a taco,
Or a churro.
somebody's gonna make it with their hands and hand it to
Yeah.
us, and we're gonna
Yeah.
eat it. So
With gloves,
I don't see how this is that different than that.
Yeah.
Because it's candy, they make it, they wrap it, they sell it. These things are
Yeah,
$15 a piece, by the way.
I don't know.
So
It says production of the candy canes will not be possible with current health and safety guidelines. So it's the production, not the
Right.
the sales. Although it says the 18-inch candy canes are so popular that they've had to issue wristbands for people to get them.
it's
Which is
great.
funny because I don't remember ever hearing about them.
I know,
Yeah.
me either.
Me either.
It's like that weird thing when
What?
remember when what was it, the tamales popped up as like the huge thing to get, and like, oh, we've been fighting for years to get the tamales we need, and it's a huge deal,
Yeah.
and it's our
Tamales
tradition,
makes
and
sense because it's cultural.
right. But we didn't hear about it for a really long time, and then one year it was like the thing.
Yeah.
And that's like this. All of a sudden,
feel
it's,
like for
I've seen
me,
these
it's the
candy canes a
turkey
bajillion
legs.
times, but I didn't know it was a
Yeah.
huge deal.
Well, for me, it's the turkey legs, because people have made this big deal about turkey legs,
turkey
and I'm like,
legs.
turkey legs at Disneyland? What are you
Yeah.
talking
Yeah.
about?
Turkey legs
Turkey
are a
legs
Ren
is a
Fair
Renaissance
thing.
fair.
Yeah,
thing.
exactly.
Yeah. So I don't know when they became a thing at Disneyland, but
Yeah,
they're
I
not
don't
part
know.
of my Disneyland experience.
I see.
Sorry.
Eric says the candy canes have been a big deal for years and years. Unless I've seen
Right.
them,
Well,
I
that's
know
what we
they've
just
been
said.
for sale. I just don't
Yeah.
remember people making a big thing about it.
Well, I mean, it said
No.
that they were such a big thing that people they had to issue wristbands.
Yeah,
and
weird.
they would sell out in minutes.
Strange.
So I'm sure that we're just not big enough fans.
I guess
Yeah.
That's probably it. Yeah.
that's right. Disney sucks.
I mean,
Whatever.
different people are fans of different things at the park. There are people who
Yeah.
are really big fans of like the Mickey Mouse ice cream. That's the Mickey
Yeah.
head dipped in chocolate.
Yeah,
I don't really like them.
the Mickey on a stick.
yeah,
Yeah.
they're okay, I guess.
Yeah.
I do get the churro thing.
You know what I
Churros are
miss?
good.
I miss the French fry cart.
Yeah, whatever happened to the French fry
Jeez.
cart?
The French fry wagon in
No,
Frontierland.
you know what I really miss?
What?
Is the Sunkissed house
Oh yeah.
that sold lemonade and god-awful prepackaged Weber bread ham sandwiches that
Oh,
I
no.
adored.
That and that sounds exactly like the place that your dad would always take you to eat.
Oh, I'm sure.
It
Yeah.
is so him.
That is very definitely my
it's
dad.
it's
Yeah.
totally your dad. Yeah.
And the Welch's grape juice house. Man, I miss the Welch's grape juice house.
Yeah.
Big glass of cold purple grape juice on a hot day.
Oh
What can I
yeah.
say?
and I miss the Galley restaurant.
Yeah.
That was cool.
Right.
For shame.
Okay, so Mickey and Minnie Mouse's birthday, Disneyland Resort did refurbishment for the Partners and Storytellers statues. And
Yeah.
I know Sean has something to say about this.
I do. So the last time Colleen and I were at Disneyland, I very specifically pointed this out. And I thought I took a picture, but I guess I didn't. I think I just mentioned it in passing. It looked like they had painted the Partners statue to look like it was marble. It was white and gray and weird, and I don't know if it just oxidized in a horrible way or what, but it just looked terrible. And
That's weird.
it looks like the renovation that they did. They got Mickey in his two-tone colors, which is really great. and Walt too, and he's back to looking like bronze, which is good. But yeah, the last time it just didn't look so great. And they have a picture side by side here where they just sort of show it almost as gold, and also it almost looks like he's just been painted gold.
Oh wow!
It looks really bizarre. And
Strange.
this two-tone approach looks really good, especially with the repaint on the castle behind it.
Well, I'm looking at the
Storytellers one.
What they had to do to it, and it was like they used like crushed walnuts to blast it, and then they like basically went back down to the bronze that it was made out of.
They should have just
and
used
touched a
Kool-Aid.
blowtorch and just cleaned it up.
Yeah.
Basically, and then coat it with a polymer to protect whatever patina that was still there, and then coated it with wax afterwards. So that it's like was this like 4 days or something? It took them to do this.
I'm surprised it went that quickly.
Yeah.
I mean, it's a pretty sizable statue, and
Yeah.
the if you don't know what the Storytellers statue is, it's the one that's in California Adventure.
Yeah.
With Walt and his case with Mickey, and putting those things back to kind of where they were, and it makes sense that they coated them. I'm assuming that they basically just did a spar varnish like you would do on a marine. Marine brass on a boat and things like that. And they look great. They look terrific because they look, they did look awful. And honestly, it being Disney, it looked like it was an intentional thing. It looked like they had like painted it to look like marble or something because it didn't just look like it had oxidized.
Yeah.
It looked like they had done something to it on purpose. But yeah, they look beautiful now. I wholly approve.
Yeah. Sounds pretty good.
On to trailers.
Woo-hoo.
Premiering on 12/4 on Disney Plus is a show called Godmothered, which looks really cute. I'll watch it.
Yeah. It kind of looks like Enchanted Part 2 in a way because
or
exactly how it's handled.
It has similarities to
Right.
Elf. I mean, I don't think it'll be as funny as
Yeah.
Elf turned out to be, but it is the story of a fairy godmother that goes to find her subject and gets into the real world and finds that the person is cynical and doesn't really want a fairy godmother.
Well, the first off, her charge turns out to be older than she thought she was supposed to be.
Yeah.
But that someone is Isla Fisher, whom I adore. Her fairy godmother is Jillian Bell, who looks like she's supposed to be Jennifer Coolidge.
Yeah.
It really looks like a part that was written for Jennifer Coolidge, and
I
then
would like to have
they
seen
changed
Jennifer
their
Coolidge.
mind and went with somebody younger, I guess.
Yeah.
Probably.
And it looked like, Jane Curtin is in it.
Yeah, Jane Curtin is the one that's teaching them how to be fairy godmothers.
Oh,
Yeah.
is she really?
Yep.
Because I thought I
Pretty
didn't
cool.
think that was Jane Curtin. It is. It's you know who she looks like? Michelle Pfeiffer.
Nope, Jane Curtin.
Kinda.
Yeah, depending, it totally looks like Michelle Pfeiffer to me. But Jane Curtin is better. I'm in. Yeah, I'll watch this. It looks like it's not for our age group, but I
that'll be
will
fun.
totally
Yeah,
watch it.
it looks cute, and I will definitely watch it as like a holiday pick.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, and I really like Isla Fisher, so I'm totally in for this.
Yeah. Gotcha.
On Netflix on December 11th is the animated feature movie, whatever.
Yeah.
Canvas, which looks kind of sad.
It basically, I don't have any news on it. Just from the trailer, it looks like someone who's, in the senior years, and he's in some home, and he goes to a canvas because he has a painter or something. And I'm going to guess there's going to be some sort of magic involved or something, or along the lines with the canvas. And what
Well,
he's
it's a guy who's like kind of getting back into his into his hobby.
Yeah.
And now, interestingly, there are more than one production called Canvas for 2020.
Yeah.
And like finding information on this is nearly impossible. So I think
Yeah.
we're out of
luck.
luck, and we're really gonna have to kind of watch it.
Yeah.
But it does. It's very melancholy
Yeah.
in its
Yeah.
portrayal, and of course they cut you off right before you learn anything important. But
Yep.
but it's kind of cool.
You're like, is the guy magic? Or
Yeah, it's
is
like
that
we don't
just like
know.
an effect? Did he really make the canvas light up? Or
Right? Did glow?
is
or,
that just like to show that he went back to painting?
Right.
Who knows?
Yeah. No idea.
On
boy.
January 12th, Batman Soul of the Dragon from Warner Brothers will be released digitally and then
Yeah.
on Blu-ray on
Yeah.
January 26th.
This is both really weird and
Yeah.
really cool. The cool part of it is that they've got Bruce Timm, who has come back to do it.
Yeah.
He was one of the main guys behind the 1992 Batman animated series. This animation isn't quite that style, the cool Art Deco shaded stuff, but it kind of goes back to the 1970s sort of Super Friends kind of look, where it's very much a 70s, almost like exploitation kung fu movie. Which is kind of cool. For Colleen, Kelly Hu is in it.
Oh, nice.
And
Who does she play?
She plays Lady Shiva.
Yeah.
And
I am not enlightened.
Mark Dacascos is Richard Dragon. James Hong is a sensei.
I like James
Yeah.
Hong.
And David Yuntoli is playing Batman and Bruce Wayne. And so there's some interesting voices in it. But honestly, it's like Batman is teaming up with
Yeah,
Bruce Lee
that's kind of
pretty
what it
much.
looks like.
and making a movie. So I don't know. I could watch it. It looks better than most of the animated offerings they've had of late. None of the other ones have looked interesting enough to do.
Sometime in 2021,
Yeah, boy.
there will be a theatrical release, maybe, of a Tom and Jerry, one of those movies where they have cartoons and live action at the same time.
Yep.
Yeah.
I'm not a fan of Tom and Jerry. It's one of those cartoons that I watched because there
It
was
was
a
on.
cartoon and it was on.
Right.
But yeah, I've never really liked Tom and Jerry. I don't actually like cartoons where
Itchy and scratchy.
I don't like them where they beat each other up.
Right.
Cut it out.
Well, and that
Play
that
nice.
was sort of their whole thing. It was like, in what clever ways can we torture the other one?
And this
Yeah.
movie is all about that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And
Meh.
I could skip it.
Yeah.
Yeah. I was like,
HBO Max is releasing the Snyder Cut in black and white sometime in 2021.
Dear Lord.
Like, I don't even know what the
Well-
Snyder Cut is. I know I've been told several
No,
times,
I mean,
but apparently I don't
it's
care.
not. Well, it's not going to be. I don't think it's being released in black and white. This
No,
is
the
just
trailer.
this is just a trailer that's
is in black and white. This
Yawn.
this trailer is
Yeah.
so full of
exactly the
itself and pompous that it makes me not want to see this.
Yeah.
I didn't see Jungle Cruise.
Oh, I want to see Jungle Cruise.
Tell you what I
Yeah,
think
me
of that
too. When's
trailer.
that coming out, damn it?
I didn't see Justice League anyway, because it didn't interest me.
No, after I saw Man of Steel, I was like, well, I don't want to see any more things that
Right.
are DC directed by this guy.
Right. Well, and so in this case, they show you this trailer with like some new footage in it. It's all in black and white, and
Yep.
you know where they lost me? With the beginning of the music where they were using Hallelujah, not
Yeah.
the Hallelujah chorus, but the song Hallelujah.
Uh-huh.
And I'm like, anything that went there, I'm just done. I'm like,
I was
this.
done before I even watched the trailer. I didn't watch the
it's-
trailer because I'm like, we've had so many trailers for this thing.
Yeah.
I am so over it.
It's
I was never under it.
know.
way too full of itself. I just like I don't care. I've checked out.
Yeah.
I'm done.
Pass.
Give me Wonder Woman 1984. I'm totally down for that.
Yeah, that's
I
coming
have-
out on HBO.
I have no interest in this other one.
Did you hear that?
HBO and theaters at the same time. But if you already have HBO, it's free for a month.
Right, we don't have HBO. We're
I-
not going to see it in a theater.
No.
So I don't know how we're going to do that.
Yeah, I don't know. We'll
Yeah,
have
yeah.
to figure it out.
Rental by mail.
Yeah. Chaos Walking looks
Yeah.
like it's going to be out in theaters sometime in 2021. It stars Daisy Ridley and Tom Holland.
Yep.
It stars Daisy Ridley as a blonde, and that's
Yeah.
freaking me out.
Yeah.
It's
And,
a weird. This Daisy Ridley crash lands onto a planet full of men where all the women
Yeah.
have died. And
Yeah.
so Tom Holland is trying to save her from all of the backcountry men that want to kill her.
Yeah. And
The end.
Mads Mikkelsen's in it too. Yeah.
Right. Well, and there's a sub thing where there's something called the noise, where
Yeah.
whatever men think gets projected, and everybody knows what you're thinking. So you have no secrets, and you have to guard your thoughts,
Yeah.
and it's all kind of weird and crazy.
Wonder
Yeah.
how long ago they killed all the women. Because that's what, in the trailer, they said all the women, they killed all the women.
Well, that's what's implied. I thought they said
they
they were
said
dead.
Oh, I thought, okay.
What happened to the women? It's like, well, they're dead.
Oh, I thought
And-
that I thought
but
he said they killed
because
some.
they're after her, and it looks like they
Yeah.
have to kill her, it looks like all the women were killed.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
you know, and
It
was
just
it?
seeed like a really bad idea to kill all the women because
Yeah.
That works out for them all.
short-lived.
Their clock is ticking.
But maybe they got around that some other way.
Well, and
Yeah.
it's really interesting to see some of these people together in a production. I mean, Tom Holland is is always fun to watch, and I like Daisy Ridley, and we'll have to see. I'm scrolling through the trivia here to see if it says something. It's from a book series, apparently.
Yeah.
And I guess the two main characters are supposed to be like teenagers.
And and they're kind of freaked out because the noise is not affecting her at all.
Right.
So I don't know if that means it doesn't affect women, or if it does and it doesn't affect her. No idea.
Well, and it's sort of implied, like based on the opening of the trailer, that she fell to Earth from space. She was like in a capsule or in a space station or something. It looked like, and she ended up on the planet. Anyway, I haven't read the book series, so I can't really speak much to it. Watch the trailer. It's interesting. It's certainly very sort of high budgety, and apparently Tom Holland got his nose broken
Ow.
the first week of filming, so he went through most of the movie with a broken nose.
Maybe that's
Yeah.
because he
Yeesh.
likes to do his own stunts.
Yeah.
Maybe. Well, and it was a stunt
What a-
man who didn't
Jeez
pull his
Louise,
punch
man.
enough. He
Whoops.
took his nose. Oops.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was
Sorry.
kind of nuts. But
That's gotta be embarrassing.
yeah, Nick Jonas is in it. Ray McKinnon is in it. And a whole bunch of people I do not know.
Yeah.
There is a documentary coming out that's called "A Disturbance in the Force," which is about the holiday special, the Star Wars
Yeah.
holiday special.
How it got made.
Yeah.
Well, and it looks like it's something that is being produced by Adam F. Goldberg, who does the Goldberg
Yeah.
series. And so that could be pretty good.
Yeah.
I'll say I'm a little disappointed that they didn't talk to us, but
What the heck, man?
it's pretty funny. I have come to the conclusion
Come on.
that I just don't have what it takes to be like a super famous broadcaster guy. I don't,
What does it take?
apparently lots of pimping of oneself.
Oh yeah.
Oh well,
And I'm
yeah,
not-
yeah,
I'm not
that's
very
how
good
it
at that.
is,
But the disturbance in the force is one of those sort of collected things where they go and they interview a bunch of people involved in it, but they also collect footage from throughout the history of the project and the making of it. And so they go talk to Bruce Valanche, and then he'll mention something, and then they'll show what he's talking about, and as much behind the scenes stuff as possible. And as I remember, this was being done by the guys who did the documentary on that Raiders fan film that was done. Remember the kids who shot reshot Raiders? Yeah. So it's apparently those guys. They also worked on Napoleon Dynamite.
Oh.
So, it as a curiosity, it could be interesting.
2 out of 3.
I'll probably watch it. and the trailer, of course, is full of lots of celebrities going, what a piece of crap. What'd we do that for?
Exactly.
Or I like B. Arthur. She's like, I was not into Star Wars.
Yeah, I know. What the heck?
Which was great. So do watch the trailer. It's pretty fun. Pretty fun stuff.
So we have to wrap it up.
I guess we do.
Yeah.
No.
We wanted to say that next Thursday is Thanksgiving.
Yep.
So we're not going to be doing a show.
We expect you guys to not tune into us on Thanksgiving. Go do, have a Zoom with your family or something.
Exactly.
And or conversely, be in a gigantic turkey coma. That's totally cool. So we will
watch the Star Wars Lego holiday special.
Woo-hoo!
Yes, that would be good too. We are we're probably also not going to do Christmas Eve, which is
Thursday,
which is a Thursday too. So,
right.
But Thanksgiving is always on Thursday, so we always take that off. But we do appreciate you being here the rest of the year. What do we got going on this weekend? Anything exciting?
I kind of overbooked myself.
Oh, did you really?
Whoops. Yeah, for some reason I thought that I scheduled myself for an 18th century jacket making workshop on Saturday. But it turns out it's Sunday.
Oh.
And it's like 10 a.m. to 4 p.m. or something like that.
Oh.
And not only did I double book myself with my cooking group is having a Thanksgiving meetup on Zoom. But also I don't have a pattern for jackets, so
whoops.
I am unprepared.
That's
I have something else I can work on, but those two things and our usual Sunday movie makes it a really
busy day. Wow.
Yeah, Saturday I intend to sleep all day.
Saturday, I think it's happening Saturday. I agreed to be a guest on someone's podcast.
Oh.
And Joanne Galluccio is doing a podcast with her sister. Joanne is the wife of Ray and the mother of Justin, and they are part of my Star Car group. They have the old school Bumblebee, the Bumblebee Camaro. And Justin is a really good puppeteer, and he's got his own puppets. He's got a Gonzo puppet. He comes to conventions and does stuff. And so I saw them at an event and agreed to do the podcast for that. So hopefully that's fun. Hopefully it's not like, a half hour talking about me, because that's...
Lisa said that the Rancho Obi-Wan online gala is this weekend.
It is. That's Saturday night. And so because the gala can't be attended by anybody because of COVID, they're doing everything online. And if you buy tickets to it, you can support the Rancho Obi-Wan
Foundation.
They are a nonprofit. RanchoObiwan.org is where you can go for more information. And they've got all sorts of people who are going to be part of their events and stuff for the gala. There's a button when you go there in the menu. It says Virtual Gala, November 22nd, 21st. There's a very distinct disclaimer at the top that says, "We will not use your money to get collectibles. So read all about it there. It's totally worthwhile, and it's sponsored by a whole bunch of really cool people too.
Jeff,
So,
what
Now
about
we
you?
can get more action figures. No, gosh, this weekend, I don't know. I don't really think I have anything particularly planned. I know I'm supposed to build something, but other than that,
like a house or
no.
Lincoln
We got,
Logs?
I got a what do you call that? It's like an elliptical from my work that they basically weren't using. They're going to get rid of and weren't using anymore.
An exercise
and-
bike.
Pretty much.
Yeah.
It's more of a walking one. There's not like a seat.
Oh, okay.
But and I had to sort of dismantle it to a point so I could get it home, and so it's in the garage, and I just got to put it all back together, which really is not that difficult. As just doing it.
Cool.
And seeing if it'll actually work. So
Sounds good.
yeah.
Well, I'm going to try and wrap up my my car search this weekend. I hope that the Z is not doing well. It hit 185,000 and went ah.
Yeah,
So-
jeez, what the heck?
Yeah, we'll see how that goes. Beyond that, thank you for listening. We're very grateful. Thanks to Kit for posting all of the stuff. Thanks for being over on all of the various chats and things. Sorry that Facebook and Twitch was so hard. Like I said, if you have a suggestion for something that is not restream, I'm down for that, provided it's not going to break our bank, because we
Yeah,
don't have a
exactly.
bank.
It's only $1,000. What?
Right, exactly. So, and we will not see you next week.
Yeah. I'm calling Kaylee Crosby.
This is Jeff Soledano.
And I'm Sean Crosby. As always, may the force
Force.
be with
with
you.
you.
Dun, dun, dun. But, oh my gosh, yeah, definitely go check out Club Obi-Wan. They got all sorts of really good stuff. Or
Will
not
do.
Club Obi-Wan, Rancho Obi-Wan.
Same thing, isn't it? Really?
I would go to Club Obi-Wan, man.
Yeah.
I'm not really much for nightclubs, but
Yeah.
I would totally do that. That would
I'm
be
not
super
normally one for overtime, especially lately because I'm exhausted all the time. But
Yeah.
there were two
Yeah, me
topics
too.
that I didn't get to talk about.
cool. Oh, yeah? What do you want to talk about?
The first one is Disney again.
Oh, God, those guys.
Uh-oh.
Sorry.
That's okay.
I was looking at a review of the holiday foods for Downtown Disney,
Yeah.
and I came across the two items. One of them is they're making a large pretzel covered in Fruity Pebbles.
Huh. What are they calling it?
It is called Fruity. No, it is
It's called Barney's Blunder.
Rainbow Crunch Pretzel.
Yeah, no.
Yeah, it's just they took a pretzel and they glued a bunch of Fruity Pebbles on it.
That's not really
Yeah.
doing anything for me.
And I think it's at Wetzel's Pretzels. Oh, and it costs $8.
No.
Yeah. But it's pretty big.
Yeah.
They've got someone holding it in their hand, and it like the bottom third of the pretzel is from their thumb to the top of their finger.
The bottom third of the pretzel.
Yes. And the other thing was, I found it especially interesting when Jeff said he got ice cream. Jeff, did you get ice cream at Salt and Straw or somewhere else? Last weekend. Hello?
Oh, we lost you, Jeff.
Oh.
There we go.
No.
No, there we go. I'm back. No, because they came in and were making a ruckus behind me, so I turned my mic off. So
Oh, okay.
transmit over, and then I totally forgot I turned it off. But yeah, Salt and Straw is where we went. Yes.
Did you see what the seasonal flavors are? 'Cause
They
they're
had like a
gross.
pumpkin one and something else. I can't remember what the other one was.
So they've got one that sounds fairly normal, cranberry juniper sorbet.
Okay.
And then they've got three that sound really disgusting. Roasted peach and sage cornbread stuffing,
Yeah.
sweet potato casserole with maple pecans, and the pièce de la résistance,
Yeah. Here it comes. Get
salted
ready.
caramel Thanksgiving turkey.
Yep. Yeah.
Let me
yeah.
read the description. Oh my
And-
gosh, they even said it was the pièce de résistance in the
It's in the description. I was just going to bring that up. Yeah.
I didn't. Okay.
Oh,
We partner
so
with
gross.
Diestel Family Ranch for the most coveted part of the bird, that crispy skin, and roast it to crackling perfection before folding in pieces to brittle. Then we stuff our house-made caramel with aromatics and baste it with duck fat for extra richness. Sweet and salty with buttery crunch. Now,
Wow, that sounds just horrible.
I'm gonna
it
cry.
sounds like it could be good. Like, it's so bizarre that it could be good. No. But I'm not going to pay like $8 or whatever they charge for ice cream there to find out and then just be like, ew, it's gross.
It's a crime
my
against
gosh.
ice cream. It's terrible.
and Lisa points out that the sweet potato one sounds like it could be good. And
That could be good I
Yeah.
like a lot of sweet potato derivative things, which are great, and maple and sweet potato and pecan. That's all terrific.
yeah.
But I swear to God, if you ever hand me an ice cream cone that's been basted with duck fat, I will hurt you.
I had to read these descriptions several times
Just
because I
no.
thought maybe I was wrong and they weren't really ice cream.
Oh my gosh.
But at the bottom of the roasted peach and sage cornbread stuffing and the sweet potato casserole with maple pecan, it does say ice cream. It doesn't actually say it in the Thanksgiving turkey flavor.
It's the
Oh my gosh.
effing turducken.
But it's an ice cream place. They don't serve anything but ice cream at this
Right.
place.
That's the
The
thing.
The sweet potato casserole says they bake sweet potatoes low and slow with brown sugar and cinnamon, whipped maple fluff, and crunchy pecan praline round out the velvety ice cream. So I guess it's sweet potato flavor, which would honestly, sweet potatoes, butternut squash, pumpkin, they're all very similar in flavor profile. So this was probably very similar to a pumpkin ice cream
Yeah.
with pecans in it.
But I'm not sure about the sage and cornbread stuffing.
good.
And I'm not as much of a stuffing fan anyway. It's
Well,
like
but
not
they
my favorite thing.
it's not stuffing. It's molasses
no, but
cornbread
it's the
cookies.
flavor of that.
Yeah.
It's what they're going for. I mean,
They steeped sweet cream with sage.
They're-
Dollops of tart peach jam brighten it all up for a complex woodsy ice cream.
there was something that you were just saying that was like turkey dinner flavored something that you didn't want. What was it? Do you remember?
Oh, the potato chips.
The potato chips,
Oh, the
exactly.
reason why I didn't want the Thanksgiving
Which were like what? Trader Joe's?
They're
has-
Trader Joe's Thanksgiving potato chips,
They're-
and I
Oh,
liked
golly.
them until you described what you thought they tasted like, and now I don't like them anymore because I don't remember what it was you described, but after that, I couldn't eat them anymore because all I could picture was what you described, and it was super gross.
Oh, well, if you don't remember, now you can have them because you can't
I'm sure you
call
will
that up.
remind me.
I-
You'll take one of the potato chips, and you will remind me, and then I'll be like, ugh.
I will promise to not bring it up
So,
because I don't
Lisa
have to eat
points
them.
out that this
I don't
is a
have to eat them.
freaking hipster ice cream shop, and I have to agree with this.
Mm.
Sean and I went to
Crunchy frog.
an ice cream shop in Brentwood like 2-3 years ago, and you have to decide quick, and there's no time for tastes because they're super popular and there's a big long line.
Yeah, I know. Yeah.
And not to mention that, like, under COVID, you wouldn't be allowed to taste samples anyway.
I like
but,
to lick the glass on the case.
But Sean decided to go with the mint chip ice cream at this hipster ice cream
Oh
shop
God.
in Brentwood. And honestly, it really just tasted like they went and grabbed a handful of mint off a plant in the backyard, didn't cut it up all the way,
Right.
and mixed it in.
It
Tasted weedy.
it didn't taste like mint. It tasted like chlorophyll.
Yeah. I thought it tasted weedy.
But yeah, but we
Yeah.
we went to that place in Laguna Beach that had like
Oh, yeah, that was fun.
you know,
The sorbet.
black licorice anise
Oh, boy.
something and with anchovies or something crazy.
What?
And and it was good. It was like
Oh, weird.
everything they made was like really great.
I don't think we got anything with anchovies.
It was
That would be kind
it
of
was
bizarre.
around Halloween, I think.
We might have tasted the thing with anchovies. But I
Yeah,
don't think
and they had a bunch of really weird things that were all like horror movie things. Like there was a Freddy Krueger one that was red and green stripes,
Gotcha.
and whatever. And they were weird. They were really left field, but they were good. They were like tasty, even though the ingredients were freaky.
Yeah,
because it
and
was
they had
Halloween.
that black ice cream.
Yeah, which
Yeah.
is what I think I had was the black ice
Okay.
cream, and
Boy.
this just sounds awful. I just
Yeah, it just doesn't sound very appealing.
crispy turkey skin.
Yeah, when we were there, I got cookie dough and was like gooey brownie or something like that.
Oh, that sounds
Two
good.
different scoops of that, and that's all I got. It was like, these look good.
How much did it cost?
It was like, I think, basically it was like $10 for 2 scoops or something,
Yeah.
basically. So yeah.
Now, here's where I get out my old person cane and tell people to get off my lawn. Because remember when you could get a scoop of thrifty ice cream for a nickel?
Yeah. It was a nickel,
I
a
know.
dime, and
And a quarter.
25 cents for
And
a
my
triple.
dad would splurge and get the one for a quarter.
The
I was always
triple.
impressed by that.
We found on our way to
Back in my day.
Joe was here earlier. I don't know if he's still here or if he left, but we went to do Joe's wedding ceremony, and on the way there we stopped at a Rite Aid, and they had the Thrifties scooper, which we've been looking for like a year, and so we had to be kind of out in the sticks to find it.
But and what's funny is that
Where were we? Apple Valley or somewhere?
Varajan saw I posted the picture of it.
Yes.
And Varajan was like, "Oh, cool. Yeah, I just ordered one online."
Yeah, great. I had looked online and they didn't have any
dear.
available.
I guess
so.
they're available again.
But anyway, so I used it the other night, and oh my gosh, does that work really well? And I was actually ready. I had got some hot water. I put some hot water in a cup from the tap, and I had rinsed the thing off in hot water, and I got like just perfect scoops out of it. It was great, and I didn't even have to rinse it off in the hot water. It just worked perfectly. The problem is that they are making ice cream containers smaller now by like a pint. They're not a half gallon anymore. They're like smaller than that. They've gotten rid of a bunch of servings and they just keep shrinking. And I imagine that scooper would work way better with the original size containers. So it was a little challenging, but yeah, gosh, it worked great. It was really fun to use. So
Yeah. That's cool.
Yeah.
Cool.
it was
Now
totally
I want
neat.
ice cream.
Wow.
We have ice cream. We have two kinds of ice cream currently. We have peppermint ice cream, which Colleen wanted to put on top of pumpkin waffles that are Mickey-shaped waffles that she made and put in the freezer. And so we can heat those up and put ice cream on them, and that was good. And then the fallback one, just in case the grocery store Kroger brand peppermint was really terrible, was Tillamook white chocolate raspberry ice cream. And we're fans of white chocolate raspberry cheesecake, so I'm hoping it has that same kind of flavor. We haven't cracked into that one yet.
I didn't talk about the other thing I wanted to talk about.
Well, what was it?
Uh-oh.
So under conventions/events, we actually have 5 events that you can actually do in the month of December. And they are all drive-through experiences.
Oh yeah, I put that on the announcement for the show about the drive-through
So there was
holiday stuff.
I guess you put the one about Dodger Stadium, and I looked at that one, which caused Facebook to serve me up ads for a whole bunch of other ones. And there was one that I had looked at earlier in the week that I added as well, which is kind of a little bit separate. But there are drive-through holiday festivals at Dodger Stadium, Six Flags Magic Mountain, Fairplex in Pomona, and Orange County Fairgrounds.
Yep.
And they range in price from The cheapest experience is $22 per person.
Wow.
And the most expensive one is 200. Oh no, that one's the separate one. Hang on, the most expensive one is $106 per person.
That's
Ish.
what do you get for $106? I hope it's not
So-
that turkey ice cream.
Who
No,
knows?
for the $106 you get the experience plus they give you like a stocking full of stuff and some food, and so they give you a whole bunch of stuff to go with it. And some of these places are charging per person, and some of them are charging per car.
Per car, right? See, that's
Yeah.
I would expect something that's like $100 and something bucks to be per car.
Well, like the Dodger Stadium one is $55 to $105 per car, and
Yeah.
and they're all premium, not premium pricing. What do they call it when they change it?
Tiered.
It's when if you go on a Monday at 2:00, it's
Yeah.
cheap.
Yeah.
And if you go on a Saturday night, it's expensive.
Right.
And so all of them have that pricing structure.
Sort of.
But they all look somewhat similar, but honestly, of the Christmas ones, the one that looks the best from the description on the website is the one at the Orange County Fairgrounds. Like it basically looks like they took their what's that thing that we've done for the last 2 years? The ice
Yeah.
thing, snow, whatever.
Yeah, yeah.
They've been doing a winter
It's
festival.
like, yeah. Winterfest
Oh,
is.
I'm like
Oh,
ice
Winterfest.
snow thing. What the heck are
Yeah.
you talking about?
Winterfest, that's what it's called. They basically
looks
took
fancier.
about half of the experience from that and made it drive-through. And then
Yeah.
did the kind of things when we reviewed the Heritage Square drive-through that they did for
Yeah.
Halloween.
Yeah.
They have like some of those full car photo experiences, and they give you stuff. So that one looks the best.
Yeah.
I'm not sure if it's just because they describe it more fully on their website or what.
With the
and then-
variable pricing, though, I mean, if they give you like a gift bag, how does that work?
Well, you choose the Orange County Fair one. You actually can go and you choose what you're gonna like. I want to spend this much money, and I'm gonna get this.
I see. Okay.
So
It's like the car wash.
yeah, it's like the car wash.
I think our car wash should just do a holiday thing and put a bunch of like elves and Santa
Yeah.
and stuff in the
Well,
car
it's-
wash.
And then there's another one
like
that's not
Twinkletown.
Christmas. That is a Stranger Things drive-through experience, and this one goes until February.
Because nothing says Christmas like Stranger Things.
Well, it's not Christmas. I just said it wasn't Christmas, right?
Yeah.
It's between $59 and $280 per car.
Ish,
And
geez
that,
Louise.
again, you can get a bunch of merchandise to go with it.
So
And
the expensive one of the kids rides in the car with you, or it's like
well,
Oh, I
so
wouldn't
like
think
the
so.
$280 a car, it's the VIP experience. You can have up to 8 people in the car, and you get to go to the head of the line, and you get stuff.
Winona Ryder wipes
Gotcha.
down your windshield.
Maybe.
It's very
Probably.
Oh,
fancy.
there you go.
Yeah. But anyway,
Oh, boy.
it's interesting that places have figured out a way to make something that's a little bit safer and still have some holiday fun.
Well, and
Yeah.
that's really good. I mean, it's
And they're selling out fast. A lot of the dates are
Yeah.
already sold out
Yeah.
for these things.
So they used to have a thing. I believe it was called Twinkletown, and they used to have it. I believe it was in the parking area for like Wild Rivers or Wild Country Safari, whatever you want to call it at the time. But it was basically the light setup that we saw at Winterfest each time we went. That whole area
The one
was
that you
all
walk
lights.
through?
Yeah,
Yeah.
it was basically that. And so I think that's kind of like what the Wonderland thing is, but on steroids.
Yeah, I'm sure that all of the holiday drive-through experiences are like a tunnel of lights and some
Yeah.
figures that are set up that are lit up, and then you can buy some hot cocoa
Yeah,
and you can get your picture taken.
yeah.
well, and there are a lot of places that like usually do things like I heard on the radio today, and I can't really narrow it down because so many places call themselves this, but some of the more popular Christmas tree lanes are canceling this year.
Yeah.
The Huntington
So-
Beach one, I don't know if that's canceling or not, but
I
it's
mean-
a neighborhood.
Hastings Ranch would be downright dangerous.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's the one in Altadena, right?
No, Altadena Christmas Tree Lane is basically these really, really tall pine trees. They're huge pine trees. And they go through and like use cherry pickers or something to put lights on them. And you just drive through. I've never been through that where there was a ton of cars going through it, but maybe I just was smart and didn't go on popular days.
So I looked that one up, and it's Santa Rosa between Altadena Drive and Woodbury Road, and it says year built 1885.
Yeah.
Wow.
I told you those trees were big.
Yeah.
The Hastings Ranch is the one that is
Oh, I remember
near
Hastings
Sierra
Ranch.
Madre, and
Yeah.
the town is called Hastings Ranch, and it's when you buy a house in that neighborhood, part of the HOA, I guess, this is the rumor, is that you have to buy the Christmas decorations for your block. It like comes with your house.
Each block has
And
a
you-
theme
Yeah,
that you
so
have
like
to stick to.
there would be like a Charlie Brown theme or something. And
Right.
basically the minimum you have to do is they have these giant wood, I mean like the size of a person, I guess, wood cutouts. And you have to put like one or two of these in your yard. But other people will really get into it and decorate additionally to that.
Yeah.
So there's a Wikipedia page for Hastings Ranch,
Mm-hmm.
and the fourth thing on the menu is significant Christmas display.
Yeah. But it's so insane. Like, if you live there, you can't expect, like, if you're like, oh, we ran out of eggnog, just go to the store. Well, plan to be back in 4 hours because that's how trapped you will be in the neighborhood. If there was a fire, everybody would die because there's just too many people.
And
So
Gotcha.
I could imagine that they would have to shut that down.
well, like most,
maybe not.
most things, the Hastings Ranch Christmas Light Parade, and it's only a parade in the sense that you are driving around.
Okay.
It was an idea to get people to come up there and look at homes to buy. That was like the whole thing, and so apparently this one has like now gone on to launch other ones like the Newport Harbor Festival of Lights Boat Parade.
Gotcha.
Like the same people.
Oh, I see.
Went
because,
off and
because
did it.
honestly, the Newport Harbor, I've been part of the Newport Harbor Festival of Lights Parade. And I've been part, Sean, you've been part of the LA Harbor Festival of Lights Parade.
I have, yeah.
My dad used to have a boat, and so we've done that. We've never done the Marina Del Rey one. I think we went to go see the Marina Del Rey one once, but I could be wrong.
I was
Yeah.
looking to see if Hastings Ranch had announced anything about their event, but there's nothing. They're still on the list of like the 15 best places to see Christmas lights in LA.
Well, maybe they're doing it this year. But man, wear a mask.
Yeah. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, seriously.
Yep. There was one that's that was every year in Fountain Valley over by Miles Square Park, and it's in a neighborhood, and they do up like basically every house in this block is so elaborate, but I don't think they're doing it this year.
Yeah.
To be honest, I don't
We're
think so.
we're debating what to do for decorations, and after Halloween, which was like huge and very well received. I mean, certainly we're not going to do anything quite that crazy, but our house is so boring on the outside. In comparison to like some of the other houses in the neighborhood, or just in general, we are a 25-foot long wall in the front of the house with a notch cut in it for the stairs to get to the door. So, in and of itself, it is an unremarkable building. And we used to have year-round LED changeable lights up on the thing, but being early adopters and whatnot, they weren't quite ready for prime time. And I'm kind of wondering if they got better in the 7 or so years since we've had them.
Chances are this year we'll probably end up doing what I did the last few years, which was just lights that went around the roof.
That's what we
entrance
usually
roof.
do.
Yeah, and then I have projectors that have like snowflakes and stuff that I put on the house. So
I have to ask: are you a haphazard, let them go whichever way when you hang them on the roof kind of a person, or are you? They have to be even and aligned and right angles and.
Well, they're hanging off the eave, and there's actually whoever there's hooks that are already there. From I guess whoever lived here before us or the owner, whoever put the hooks there.
Wow, that's convenient.
Yeah, so it goes along the entire eave, the front eave of the house and such. So I just put the wires, the Christmas lights wires, and just go run them along.
Oh, cool.
We're good. It's pretty easy. And then there's a weird palm tree thing in our yard, so I go up that, wrap up that to the roof, with whatever.
That's cool.
So it's not. I don't do anything hugely elaborate, but just something.
I'm super OCD, so when I hang them off the roof, they all have to align and be spaced, and they're like very precise. Otherwise, it drives me nuts.
Yeah.
But I don't know what we're gonna do this year. Maybe we should just get a fake tree and put it on the lawn and decorate it with stuff.
That would be fun.
Since we don't have a tree in the house, let's get like a big plastic one and stick it where the Halloween stuff was.
Yeah.
Did you see the picture where somebody had the giant 12-foot tall skeleton from Home Depot draping the lights on their Christmas tree? And they're like, who says we can't use our Halloween decorations and our Christmas decorations? That was super cool and awesome.
Yeah.
I'm fully in support of that.
No, it's pretty cool. Oh, man. Ouch.
But there is still part of me that would love to do like a Nightmare Before Christmas thing. Although it occurs to me that we still have those really awful stormtrooper suits of armor in the garage, the crappy styrene ones that are really terrible.
Yeah.
So maybe we should put up a Christmas tree and put the suits on mannequins and have them decorating in the yard.
Yeah, exactly.
I could so get behind that. I got enough Star Wars figures to decorate a Christmas tree. And some of them I don't even mind if they get stolen.
Yeah. Perfect.
Yeah, I'll think about it. That would be really very funny. I could completely do that. One of the stormtroopers would have to be sitting in a chair reading like A Night Before Christmas or something.
Yeah.
A cup of cocoa.
Totally.
But we would need a big fake tree.
Yeah.
Which we don't have. So
Big shiny aluminum tree.
that's it. It's Mike Cravens. I don't know if he's still on board here, but he had suggested that we get a Charlie Brown tree for the little thing in the corner. But that's really only just one ornament involved. It's
this is true.
I guess it's a set it up and you're done kind of thing. It's like it's a branch with a thing.
Yeah.
It'd be really funny. I noticed that apparently the giant bunny jumpers, like the onesie footy jammy thing from the Christmas Story, are apparently for sale. You can apparently get those. Although it does not come with the cute bunny slippers. Which just, you got to have the full thing. That, and it does the thing that bugs Colleen and I about all the Disney princess costumes and things, where in the corner it has an embroidery that says "A Christmas Story," as if you didn't know. And that's the problem we have with a lot of Disney stuff, or Cooper costumes or things like that, where it's like has to have the name of the character to tell you who it is across the front. No. That just annoys the crud out of me. It's like give us some credit, people. We know what Snow White looks like. You don't have to put her name across her chest.
I hated that
It's
when
like
I was a
pink
kid.
nightmare.
Yeah, it was awful. But if we set up one of the stormtroopers in the pink bunny costume, we could bust out the Red Rider
BB gun.
Carbine
and shoot each other's
BB
eyes
gun
out.
Jeez.
and shoot at the stormtroopers.
Yeah. Yeah. I found that you could actually there was a Walmart ad, and they're actually selling them this year through Walmart.
Oh, I know, and they're only
Like,
like
oh my
30.
gosh.
They're $35, and they're in a replica box, and they're
Yeah.
super cool. And that particular Red Rider gun never existed. It's like one that
Yeah.
they made up, and so what was it? The Daisy Company now made it, so now it has the sundial and the compass and the stuff that their gun never actually
Yes.
had.
Has this thing in the stock that tells time.
That tells time, right? Which is like a sundial
I
thing.
mean, like a clock. I mean, what do you mean?
No, it's not like a watch. It's like it's just like a stick that you pull up and you find the sun and you use the compass to go north, and it's hysterical. I would have loved that as a kid. Did you ever do BB guns as a kid?
Yeah, I did.
Did
Those
you
are
ever
weird
do
pumping ones?
Did you ever do BB gun wars as a kid? Where
No.
we ran around and shot at
Nope.
each other.
Nope.
We grew up in the wild hills of Simi Valley, and oh my gosh, we had massive BB gun wars. Literally that whole "you'll shoot your eye out" that was us. I never worried
Yeah.
because I had glasses, but some of the other guys,
Yeah, you got to look out for the icicles.
yeah, seriously, that was pretty fun. Now it's all airsoft.
Yeah,
They run around and shoot little plastic pellets at each other.
yeah, pretty much.
Because little yellow plastic airsoft pellets. That's really funny. I guess we should wrap it up.
Yeah, I know.
Having
I'm
gone
pooped.
a half hour past the thing. I'm really kind of grooving on this stormtrooper idea, but it means I'd
Yeah.
have to build 2 stormtrooper suits.
So
They're cut out. We got them ready. They're just not built.
yeah, I know.
And I'd have to go get PVC
Mm-hmm.
pipe at Home Depot and make mannequins to put it on.
Yeah,
Or we are supposed to get rid of the mannequins for Costumers Guild. I
Yeah,
think
but those are valuable.
we
We're selling them.
decided. Well, some of them are valuable. Some of them are crap.
Mm.
And then
Anyway,
you use the crap. They use the crap ones.
there you go. I'll borrow a couple of crap ones. All right. For you guys for hanging out for. Oh, Michael is still here. Hey, Michael. Yeah, that we were talking about his Charlie Brown tree. Thank you guys for hanging out and staying overtime. Again, we will not be on the air next week, and it will be Thanksgiving, and I hope you get to do something with family. If only Orson Welles were still alive, it would be fine. Anyway, have a really good week. I'll be back on the air tomorrow for Good Morning Tatooine. We will wrap out the week. I will still be on the air next week too, and probably Wednesday I will do a Thanksgiving show, so I can take Thursday off. And it's Thanksgiving show's great. You run Alice's restaurant and go take a nap for 20
pretty
minutes.
much.
So
Yeah.
good stuff. You play the turkey bit from WKRV.
Right.
It's like, there's this show, kids, have fun. But we will do that. Anyway, thanks again. Be good people.
Good night, Colleen.
Say good night, Colleen.
Good night, Colleen.
Say good night, Jeff.
It's like she jumped the gun. And
I know. I was just
Sorry.
getting it out.
I pimped the gig.
That's not a problem.
Say good night, Jeff.
We're all fine here now.
Say good night, Jeff.
Oh, man. I did.
He
Good night,
did.
Jeff.
No, he said say good night, Jeff.
Oh.
Say good night, Sean.
Good night, Sean. We'll see all you guys later on. Thanks for hanging out.
Yeah.
Bye-bye.